Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Veterans Memorial Stadium for QATV's coverage of the 80th Annual Thanksgiving Football Classic between the Quincy Presidents and the North Quincy Red Raiders. My name is Jonathan Clary of Quincy Access TV. Again, we want to thank you for joining us on this Thanksgiving morning. It's a great morning out here at the stadium. Both teams are out in the field preparing right now and warming up for this morning's game. Kickoff is at 10 a.m., so we want to thank you for tuning into QATV's pregame coverage. We have a lot to get to today, so I want to kick us right off. We're going to bring in Noel DeBona, who's been helping us out this season on QATV Sports. Noel, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, Jonathan.
It's been a great season for the Quincy Presidents, coming in with a record of 6-4, and North Quincy a little bit less at 3-6. Talk a little bit about each team real quick.
Well, the season started off with Quincy. They had the quarterback, senior captain Andrew Schaff coming out of the gate. Did all the reps in preseason, and he got hurt with a knee injury. Went down, and the sophomore James Lamb has come in, and every game he has gotten better and better every game. And Quincy's on a 3-game win streak. They've won every game. They've scored at least 4 touchdowns, so they have a very explosive offensive attack this year. With Jalen Green at 1,452 yards rushing and 15 touchdowns. James Lamb has had a lot of touchdown passes to Alex Heffernan and Jaquan Harris. Alex has gotten 10 touchdown receptions, and Jaquan's had 10. Now on the north side, it's really the playmaker, I call him, and the Antoine Allen, the junior, who really makes that offense run with Andrew Mitten at the quarterback position. I expect a big scoring game for Quincy. So if North Quincy's going to have to stay with Quincy, they're going to have to score a lot of points. I would say more than 4 touchdowns. And to be very honest with you, I think Quincy's going to win today, just because the way the momentum is going for Quincy.
Well, it'll be certainly interesting to see how it goes today. Last year, as you mentioned, Andrew Mitten, the quarterback, last year didn't pass at all. No pass attempts. I think it'll be a little bit different here today. I'm sure he's going to get some passes up in the air. But again, most of the time, we'll be seeing Antoine Allen coming out of the backfield with some receptions and a lot of carries as well. Before we go any further, we want to bring in the mayor of the city of Quincy, Mayor Thomas Koch. We'll bring him in.
Hey, Jonathan.
Mayor, happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. What a beautiful morning.
It is. It's a great morning, and it's a great weekend here in the city of Quincy. A lot of festivities going on for the Christmas Festival Parade and the lighting, but it all kicks off right here on Thanksgiving morning with the Thanksgiving football game.
That's exactly right, and I want to thank QATV for bringing it to homes that couldn't otherwise be here to enjoy the game. So, gorgeous weather, 80th year, great tradition for a long, long time. Veterans Memorial Stadium, what a beautiful venue. And certainly want to be mindful of our veterans serving us around the world today who can't be with us home with their families. So great day, great start for the weekend. As you say, we hope for a good game today. Hopefully nobody gets hurt. Hope for a good game. And then, of course, Christmas lights go on Friday night. Weather looks iffy Saturday, so we don't know about Santa jumping out of the plane. And then, of course, the parade on Sunday. Great weekend for the city.
Now, you mentioned it's the 80th anniversary. There's a little special events going on here today. Teams are wearing special jerseys, and a lot of alumni have turned out. Talk about how this game has meant a lot to the city for the past 80 years.
Oh, boy, it's just grown into such a great tradition. I've been going to this since I was a little guy. My father used to bring me, and you had to come an hour before to have a shot at a seat. Now people come a little bit later. The place fills up a little bit after the start of the game. But it's something people look forward to. People come home for Thanksgiving. The game is part of the whole tradition. Reunions with people, just to catch up with folks and their stories. Of course, they enjoy the game, but it's also to catch up with their friends and folks they haven't seen in a year.
One of the other things about this game is everyone in the entire city comes out. No matter if you're a football fan or not, you can come out. That's one of the things about Thanksgiving as well. Whether, no matter what religion, no matter what you are, we're all Americans, and it's a big American holiday, so everyone can come out and be part together.
It is, and for a lot of the immigrants that come over, they've gotten used to the turkey, I think, at least for the once a year. But yes, it is a great American holiday. But it is a day that we all come together, no matter what the faith is, but to thank the good Lord for the blessings that we have in this great country.
And also, real quick, talk about all the festivities that are happening this weekend. You used to mention the lighting, hopefully Santa's arrival by parachute. It's all finished by the parade on Sunday.
That's correct. And, Friday night's events are co-sponsored by the Quincy Chamber along with the city. This year, the Park and Recreation Departments are coordinating all the Christmas festivities, including the parade, logistics and all. They still have some volunteers involved, but they'll be handling it. We have a major sponsor this year for the parade, Stop and Shop Companies, which is the largest donation we've ever received towards the parade. So they're a major sponsor on Sunday, and we encourage people to come out. The route's shortened just a speck. We're starting at Hannon Parkway and Hancock Street, heading north rather than School Street. So that'll actually help move the traffic around the parade using School Street for regular traffic. So it's full. The parade is full. They got 15 floats, plenty of bands and specialty units. So it should be a great weekend.
Well, Mayor, we appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule this morning. I know a lot of people are looking to say hi, and wishing everyone a Thanksgiving here in the city of Quincy.
My pleasure, and I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, thank you very much. We appreciate it. We're going to be joined momentarily by the principals of each high school. But Noel, real quick, we mentioned a little bit about each of the players. Talk about the coaches real quick and what's going to be involved getting into this game for their team.
Well, the coach for North Quincy, Jim Connor, is on a 3-game win streak. So they've won the last 3 games at Thanksgiving. I'll tell you, at this time of the year and at this game, it's the records are almost thrown out. You talk about 6-4 Quincy and 3-6 North Quincy, and I'll tell you, Connor will come to play today. As for the Quincy side, and Coach Bill Reardon, he's riding a really good win streak right now, and they played a real good Duxbury team this year and almost beat them. So, he's really high on getting the flow and the momentum going into today. So I think both coaches are going to be ready to play. They're going to get their kids ready. They may open up the playbook and stop do some trick plays. I think on North Quincy side, I think that's what they're going to need to do to beat Quincy today.
Well, I'm sure one person that's been very happy with the output of Quincy High School this year has been the principal of Quincy High School, Frank Santor.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good
Nice
morning.
to see
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving.
Same to you both.
Talk about what this game means for the high school, especially this year. Quincy's had a great record.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, I've been going to this game for 52 years now, and there's been no better weather than today, so there's no excuse not to be here. It means a great deal to Quincy High. We had a great rally yesterday. I think in the last 7 years that I've been there, our enrollment has been up to about 1,600 kids now, and it was a sea of blue yesterday. I'm very pleased to see that spirit carry over into today.
Lost my train of thought here real quick. I was thinking about it as a Quincy High School. I'm going to all those the rallies, and my friends at North Quincy used to get everyone pumped up, ready for the game. And I'm sure when the kids come out today, they'll be taking that spirit here this morning.
I hope so. But don't forget also, I'm a North Quincy High grad of 67.
Fair enough.
And we do our reunion, so I'm still a little on both sides of the fence here. Although today I'm totally blue and white.
Well, I'm sure almost every family in the city of Quincy seems like has a mother that went to Quincy and a father that went to North, just like my family.
It's like the Civil War continued and the 80th birthday.
Exactly. Now talk about that. 80 years this game's been going on here in the city
Yeah,
of
for
Quincy.
80 years. And you know what? You look at the teams and you really can't tell. One year, one team may be more successful than the other, but this game today, I've been watching the reruns, thank you to QATV, and they've been very enjoyable to watch, especially the 0-0 tie, the 14-14 tie.
Yeah,
with
definitely.
teams that have been supposed to do quite well. So we're looking forward to a good game today.
Real quick, talk about Coach Bill Reardon and what he does for this team and for the school.
Yeah, Bill Reardon takes boys and makes men out of them, and he's been doing it now for hundreds and hundreds of them. What's best for us is that Bill Reardon is also one of our guidance counselors. So he goes beyond our 100 kids on the football team. He goes to the next 200 he has in his caseload, and we're very lucky to have that man teaching kids how to be great role models and students.
Finally, are you going to talk to the team before they go out into the field? And if you are, what are you going to say to them?
No, I did that last night. We have our annual dinner where we meet and have dinner together as a nice family, and I spoke to the boys last night, and that's where I did mine. It's beyond me now. It's up to the coaches.
Well, we much appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you both.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, we're going to be joined now by the principal of North Quincy High School momentarily. We'll bring him out right now. Principal from North Quincy High School, Robert Shaw.
Morning.
Robert, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
This is your first year as principal of the North Quincy High School and first year as Thanksgiving. Talk about what that's meant the first few months here at North Quincy and then this game as well.
Sure. It's been a busy couple of months. Nothing as busy as this week. I mean, it's a great day. It's pretty exciting. A great day weather-wise. We've had a great week, starting with Little Turkey Day last week. A couple of losses, but that's okay. They were hard-fought games. They played well. A good rally yesterday, and we hope for a good result today.
Now, like I said, this is your first game as principal, but you've been with the school a number of years now. Talk about the atmosphere at the school as each year leading up to Thanksgiving. As you said, it's a lot going on in the school each week leading up to Thanksgiving Day.
It is. I mean, it's it comes at a good time. A couple of months into the school year, people are settled in. You get a great homecoming dance and a homecoming game that comes a few weeks before this. But it comes at a great time to just get people back up into a spirited mood and an opportunity to sort of put some of these traditions and symbols on display again.
Talk about Coach Jim Connor. Doesn't have a lot of numbers, but he's doing the best he can, and he gets a lot out of his players.
Jim is great. He's a great teacher, a great coach. He works hard. His whole coaching staff works hard, and they really do. Even when the numbers are not there, the kids are playing hard. They're trying hard. They're doing well in the classroom, and we can't ask for more than that.
Did you get a chance to speak to the kids yesterday or today, and what did you say to them if you did?
I did. Yesterday, I started with a little bit of a selfish comment. So I'd love to start 1-0 with the Thanksgiving tradition during my tenure, but it's not really about me. It's about them. And we talked about just sort of have fun out there, and usually the rest of the good things fall into place if you just sort of have a good time and enjoy the moment for what it's worth, representing the school and your families out here on a big day.
Well, we appreciate you taking some time out. We'll let you get your seat ready and all the festivities that are going on. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Great.
Thank you.
You too. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks a
Happy
lot.
Thanksgiving. Take care.
So, I mean, there's a lot going on here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. If you're listening live on QATV 8 at home, come on down. Still plenty of time before kickoff. Being joined now, come on right in by the Superintendent, Richard DeCristofaro.
Good to see you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you. Same to you. What a beautiful day.
Wow.
It certainly
are
is.
Fortunate.
Get a little suntan right now, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I have a lounge chair down in the corner here. I'll be upset. Yeah. No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You know, and this is such a great tradition, the 80th. You know, and in this city, traditions just create so many values for so many kids and families, and we're just proud to be part of it. You know, a real significant part of it in the Quincy Public Schools. So it's great.
80 years, a lot of players have gone through the systems, a lot are coming back here today for the alumni event. Talk about just so many kids have gone through and played football and have really improved them as citizens here in the Quincy.
There are two things really. They're memory makers. You know, because kids never, ever, ever forget participating, you know, whether it's significantly or on the sidelines and coming in for one or two plays. So those are really great things, you know. And then the second thing is that the city, you know, is so valuable to these kids, and I think they realize it over time, you know. So we're very proud, and I think our students, they get it. You know, you go to the rallies at both schools, and there's so much pride in school culture and school climate that just makes me very, very proud. Not only of our kids, but our coaches. We have two incredible coaches, assistant coaches, but also just I think the value of tradition and what it does to a community.
Real quick, talk about all the other sports. I mean, everyone knows about the Thanksgiving football game. It gets all the highlights, but there's so many other sports going on in the fall, winter, and spring, and there's so many athletes going out there doing work on the field and in the classroom.
Yeah, our student athletes, you know, it's a great point because we're here today and it's a beautiful day and it's really the tremendous focus, but there's so many student athletes that do such a great job, you know, and it's really difficult maintaining that 3-5, that 4-0 while you're at practice every single day, and you understand that, you know, you're at practice every day, you're working hard, you know, and to keep that value of that ethic and of education it's a great balance. But they learn that and they go to the world of work, they go to college, they go to the military, and they take that foundation with them. So we're incredibly proud of all our student athletes.
We thank you for coming on the
right.
pregame show and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, I believe right now what we're going to do is we're going to go to an interview that I did with Coach Bill Reardon of Quincy High School. He came into the studio the other day, took some time out of his busy schedule this week, talked about his team, the season, and leading up to Thanksgiving Day, what they expect to do. We're being joined now by Bill Reardon, the head coach of the Quincy Presidents. And Coach, thanks for taking some time out this week. I know it's a busy week for you, and appreciate you coming over to the studio for a moment.
You're welcome, John. No problem.
Great year for you this year. Finished 6-4 and 3-1 in the Patriot Keenan division. Talk a little about that. It's been a while since Quincy's had a good winning record like that.
Yeah, it's been a fun season. It's been enjoyable. Just comparison like last year, for instance, you only win a couple games. You get to late in the year. It's hard to keep the kids interested sometimes. You got to create new ways to keep them motivated to practice. But luckily, that hasn't been an issue this year. It's been a lot of fun, and you look back and you think the season's kind of gone by rather quickly now that it's coming to an end.
You have a lot of seniors this year that are key contributors. We'll start with the captains, Peter Cedrone, Rich Turpin, and Andrew Schaaf. Talk about how they've contributed to the team.
Yeah, 3 outstanding leaders. Our captains are picked based on just team voting. We don't pick them as coaches, so the kids, they know who they look up to, they know who they want to follow, and they were all unanimous selections. Andrew, Pete, and Rich, and they've done an outstanding job a bunch of different ways. Rich is an offensive lineman, so he leads that charge there. Peter plays defense for us, so he's able to lead the defensive unit. And then Andrew, by just his sheer resilience and love of the game through what he's been through this year, and we'll talk about it in a little while, what a great role model.
Well, we'll talk about it right now. He was going to be a starting quarterback heading into the season. Preseason game, he breaks his leg and goes down for almost the entire season. Came back the last game against Silver Lake. Talk about how that affected you as the coach and as the team to get another quarterback ready and prepared almost just before the season starts.
Yeah, because we had a fabulous summer. I mean, there's a lot of summer activities that go on, and Andrew's throwing the ball fantastic all summer long. We were really excited about what we thought we could do offensively with him at quarterback and with Jalen at running back, and then we go to that scrimmage and he breaks his leg, and it's just like, oh wow, the black cloud is falling on us. But I mean, the kid is resilient as all heck, just strong-willed. So he didn't want to give up, and he kept rehabbing himself every week. You know, he said, "Coach, I'm coming back. I'm coming back." And I'm thinking, you know, I saw the video. It didn't look too good, but you know, to his credit, he did. And you know, when he wasn't at physical therapy, he was at practice, rooting the kids on, helping James Lamb, who stepped in at quarterback, learn the position. And lo and behold, here he is. He's back. He started last week at corner, and he's going to get to play his senior year on Thanksgiving, which is just nothing short of remarkable.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, it was tough to come back from that, and especially his senior season. But talk about how he did help James Lamb, the sophomore quarterback who's played outstanding this year for you.
Yeah, James has stepped in and done a really good job for us, and Andrew's been there to help him with the, you know, when you play freshman as a quarterback, it's the defense is a kind of standard and vanilla, but as you get to the varsity level, teams will disguise coverages on you and whatnot, and Andrew's been able to help him figure those things out and read the defenses pretty well.
James certainly had a lot of help with some of the other players around him. You mentioned Jalen Green, Jaquan Harris, Alex Heffernan, three outstanding offensive players for you. Talk about Jalen Green first. Been an outstanding back, one of the leaders in Division II scoring. Talk about his performance on the field.
Yeah, Jalen's been fantastic for us. He's rushed for over 1,400 yards. He's got 15 touchdowns. He's just, you know, he's not the biggest back in the league, but I think what he does is he has great vision and outstanding acceleration. So if the hole presents itself, he's able to hit it right away. Outstanding balance. You know, also a student of the game. He understands defenses and what certain fronts will give you and what they won't give you, and he's just an outstanding football player.
Talk about Jaquan Harris and Alex Heffernan. Harris, a running back and receiver, but mostly out in the wide receiver position. And Heffernan, wide receiver, tight end, two outstanding receivers for James Lamb, excuse me.
Yeah, I'll start with Jaquan. Fast kid, all states in terms of track with his runs. So he's got great speed on the outside, good hands. He's on the other side, so you put him on one side and Alex Heffernan on the other, who's just got outstanding hands. Alex is actually, he's got 10 touchdowns this year. I think he's got over 20 catches, 10 touchdowns. So it's nice that those two, because of their threats on the outside, it doesn't let teams put like 8 and 10 kids in the box on us to stop Jalen, because you got to play those guys honest, and they've really helped us.
Green, Heffernan, and Harris were all-stars. Also, Peter Cedrone and Jackson Lamb. Talk about their performance on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, when Coach Carey and I sat down over the summer, we talked about what we wanted to do defensively this year. We, you know, we started with Jackson. We knew he played last year as middle linebacker for us and was outstanding as a junior. And we said, you know, let's build the defense around him. Just a solid, good, instinctive player. He leads the team in tackles right now with 111, I think it is. And we went from there, and then it was easy. We put Peter beside him at outside linebacker, and Peter's been the guy. You know, we haven't. I wouldn't call us outstanding defensively all year, but it just seems like whenever our backs are against the wall and we needed to play, you know, here comes Peter Cedrone to save us, whether it be with an interception, a sack. He's tied for the team lead in sacks, or forcing fumbles and recovering fumbles. Pete just really seems to step up when we need him the most.
Last game of the season against Silver Lake, you had some struggles on offense. Defense and special teams picked it up in the first half, and then in the fourth quarter, your offense scored a couple of touchdowns to pull it away. Talk about how that game kind of said Silver Lake came into the game winless. Did the team think, you know, almost looking ahead to North Quincy by accident on that one?
Yeah, I mean, North Quincy is always in the back of our minds. I think it was such an emotional game against Hingham. But, you know, to go back to what we were doing, like with the Malden Catholic game, for instance, I mean, we turned the ball over twice in that first half against Silver Lake, and you just can't do it, no matter who you're playing. You turn the ball over and you get a couple of penalties, you're not going to do well. And that started to rear its ugly head a little bit. But I think once we got a hold of that in the second half, we were able to take care of business.
Going into Thanksgiving, obviously it's a big week. It's an emotional week. You have media coming at you like myself, asking for interviews you might not get normally through the year. You have alumni that's coming up to you might not see normally through the year. Probably teachers in the hallway, parents, students. Is it just almost too much for a game? It seems like there's just so much coming at you, and it's such a short period of a week too. You know, Monday through Thursday must be very hectic for you.
Yeah, it is hectic. It's a lot, but I think that's also what makes it so much fun. Because even if, you know, even last year we were 2-8, But then here comes Thanksgiving, so all of a sudden it's like, oh, maybe you get some notoriety that you wouldn't normally get. And that can be exciting.
North Quincy has a couple of good players, quarterback Andrew Minton, running backs Antoine Allen and Eddie
Yeah.
Ginto. Probably the three players you're really going to have to be keen to stop on Thanksgiving.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. I think it starts with Antoine. We need to know where he is at all times because he could score on any play. Minton throws a great ball. He protects it. He doesn't throw interceptions. He knows where he wants to go with it. Ginto as well. But I also think it starts for them with their offensive line. They do an outstanding job. They put a hat on a hat. They move people off the ball, and they create space for Antoine and Eddie to run, and and Cole Barrett too. So we got to be able to, which we haven't done the last 3 years. We got to be able to establish ourselves along the defensive line. Otherwise, it's going to be another long day for us.
Do the seniors this year had that in the back of their minds that it's been 3 years since Quincy's won, and really, obviously, every senior wants to go out on top, but does that kind of put it on their minds a little bit more?
Oh, I'm sure it's on their minds, because if it's not, I'm reminding them of it almost every day.
Well, we want to wish you good luck on Thanksgiving morning, and thanks for coming out, taking a moment, and we appreciate it. Thanks a
No
lot.
problem. You're welcome, John. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right, cool.
Welcome back, everyone, to QATV's pregame coverage of the 80th annual Thanksgiving football game between the Quincy Presidents and the North Quincy Red Raiders. We want to thank Bill Radin for giving us some time and coming into the studio for our interview. I want to tell everybody that was an abbreviated interview, and you can log on to Quincy Access TV's website at www.qatv.org for the full interview, and also the full interview with the North Quincy head coach, Jim Connor. What we're going to do now, though, is take a look at the abbreviated interview with Coach Jim Connor. Caught up with him yesterday down at Kavanaugh Field before the team's final practice. Being joined now by Jim Connor, the head coach of the North Quincy Red Raiders. Coach, thanks for taking some time out. I know it's been a busy week for you.
Yeah, it has, and no problem at all. But it's it's every year. It's always a lot of dinners and banquets that we got to go through. But that's what makes it great. That's what makes the competition a lot of fun.
You must have a lot of things going on at the school, students, teachers, parents, former players coming up to you and asking you, how's the team looking? How's the team looking?
Yeah, I think that they'll be ready. I think that that's the ultimate goal, is to make sure that our kids are playing their best football by tomorrow, and that's why you spend 14 weeks or so preparing, and as long as we just keep getting better and keep getting better each time, I think that we should be okay. Quincy's an outstanding football team, one of the best I've seen in probably 10 years. So we got our hands full, that's for sure. But as long as we just try to take care of little things, I think that we could be okay.
You talk about having the peak at the end of the season. Talk about how you've prepared for that, how the team's gone from the first 5 games to the last 5 games.
Yeah, I think that ultimately we just got to keep learning from our mistakes, and it's it's nothing new. Every football team in America is saying the same thing about now, is that you just got to work on ball security and try not to hurt ourselves and capitalize on their mistakes. And I think that a lot of it is it comes down to luck, and if it just happens fall that way and our kids then can capitalize, I think we should be all right. And the same thing could happen on the other side as well. So that's what makes the game so much fun, is that you never know going into it how it's gonna end up, and but I think that both teams are going to be well prepared, and as prepared as each team going to be.
One game that you did play very well in the second half was against Hanover. You were losing 21-6 at the half, scored 24 unanswered points. Defense shut them down. Offense came up big, 14 points in the fourth quarter as well. Talk about that game and how it was kind of the opposite of how the season's gone.
Yeah, it was probably the most important game of our season, and in showing that we were down and we came back and were able to win a game and fight through it. And it's going to be something we're going to have to go back to the bank on, I'm sure, tomorrow. Being Quincy's such a good football team, that we're going to have to be able to fight the long fight in 4 quarters, and we showed that we can, which was incredibly imperative for the season. But overall, I was incredibly proud of the kids that game, because just showing that they had the ability to kind of regroup after being down 2 touchdowns, regroup and just start getting one at a time and slowly come back, and then we did right near the end of the game.
Talk about your 4 captains this season, how they've played and how they've led the team.
Yeah, Andrew Minton is a quarterback, and he's a 2-year starter, and he's been outstanding for us, the last 2 years. He's had a great career, and he plays in our offense that is a run-first offense, and he's, obviously every quarterback would like to throw the ball a little more, but he has been just a tremendous leader for us, and really has command of the offense. Kevin Papadopoulos is a linebacker, an all-league player. and he's been leads the team in tackles, 2-year starter at linebacker and nose as well, and just been doing an outstanding job, and plays through pain, plays through being hurt, injured, you name it. He just is a tough kid. Matt Deagle is our center, 2-year starter. He had another great year for us, and very intelligent kid, so he's able to do a lot of the things that that you might see at a collegiate level center do. He's making calls, and he's kind of has command of the whole line and the blocking schemes. And finally, Essian Benjamin, who is a 2-year starter. He played corner for us last year, and this year he's playing some tight end. And another great kid, just very intelligent, and worked out hard in the off season, and really it shows on the field. And I think that we're incredibly fortunate to have just such great kids, and let alone obviously great captains.
Two other players on offense have done outstanding for you, Antoine Allen and Eddie Ginto. Both of them must be approaching 1,000-yard rushing, if not over it already. Talk about how they've played as juniors for you.
Yeah, I mean, Antoine was a great player for us last year as a sophomore. This year, I believe he has 11 or 12 touchdowns, and he's got around 1,200 yards rushing already. So he's been just a big playmaker for us, and Eddie's kind of been our workhorse. He's got about 800 yards and about 8 touchdowns or so. And he's been our tough inside type runner, and Antoine's kind of been a little more of our outside runner, and the two of them complement each other so well. And we got him back next year, which is outstanding and exciting to have, and I get return a lot of junior linemen as well. So I think we should be okay next year as well. But those guys have just been just been able to carry the running load and also play on defense, which it's tough to do. You see all these great backs, and a lot of them go one way. These guys we're asking them to go 2 ways, so they're going to end special teams, so they're going to be exhausted.
Have the seniors really been focusing, knowing that they have a chance to be part of a class that has won 4 in a row? Doesn't happen too often for any part of the city, and be a special thing for them.
Yeah, I think there's been a couple 3-year stints for teams, and I think a 4-year stint at North Quincy I think has been done in decades now. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not even going to bring it up with the kids, because it's the last thing they need is just more pressure, and but they're obviously aware that that this would be the 4th win, and that's something that is going to be good, and it's great that because we were coming off of a 10-game losing streak as well, so that obviously is one problem, just about untouchable, but so a lot of their older brothers were part of that, so it's nice that the younger kids and these younger brothers have a chance to kind of return some of the unanswered issues from years past. So it's nice for the kids, but overall, we've had stress when we were trying to prevent the streak from continuing on Quincy's side. We felt pressure, and now that we've got 3 in a row, we still feel pressure. So it's about continuing it. So it goes back and forth, and I could see it now on both sides. So I just think overall, I think both teams are going to be as prepared as possible, and pressure and weight's all the same on either side.
Real quick, talk about the Quincy players that you're going to need to stop. You're going to be looking at Jalen Green, Jaquan Harris, Alex Heffernan, a 3-prong attack that can pass, they can run, do a little bit of everything. What's your goal to try to stop them on Thanksgiving morning?
I mean, there's just so many weapons. They're such a great football team, and have their skill guys in particular just so powerful. And they're starting with Jalen, of course, and he's just such a big play threat, and we just got to try to contain him as best we can. Jaquan has got tremendous speed, and always a deep threat. Heffernan is an outstanding receiver, and he's probably the most hungry receiver I've seen in a long time. He goes up and catches everything, and even their fullback and is Max Joseph is a tough kid, and finally the quarterback. I mean, Lamb is the sophomore is playing. He's playing like a very good senior quarterback right now. So it's it's scary, and I think that threat is. It's going to be something we have to be well prepared for, and the best news for us is that they only get one football. So as long as we are on the keys.
All right, welcome everybody to Veterans Memorial Stadium for the 80th Thanksgiving football game between the Quincy Presidents and the North Quincy Red Raiders. We want to apologize for not being able to get that full segment in, but you can log on to Quincy Access TV's website at qatv.org. We're going to keep it right here for our kickoff. Jalen Green is getting ready to kick off for the Quincy Presidents.
We're going to have a tough time, John, identifying players today because of the new numbering.
It's an onside kick, Jim.
Yeah.
And North Quincy was able to recover at the 45-yard line. It's a special jerseys for the 80th anniversary. So the numbers aren't really that big on the front of the jersey. They're just on the back. So we will have a little bit of difficulty, getting used to that, but hopefully we'll be ready to go by the end of the first quarter and catching up where everyone is.
Well, interesting call by Quincy going with the squib kick to start. Looking at trying to create pressure from the outset, but instead North starting with great field position at the 45.
Andrew Minton is the quarterback. He's going to hand off to Antoine Allen for the Red Raiders, and it'll be a gain of 5 up to the 50-yard line.
John, Bill Reardon talked in the pregame about the North Quincy offensive line, and you saw them there on that play, opening up a nice hole, nice 5-yard gain. This is what the Raiders are going to try to do today, establish themselves on the ground. If they're going to have a shot in this game, they have to do 2 things. They want to keep the President offense off the field, and they want to keep the time of possession in their favor.
North Quincy won the toss, and they elected to receive. They're defending the north end zone. Handoff again goes to Antoine Allen over the right side, and he is stuffed and brought down by several Presidents. Over there for Quincy High School was Viet Doan, and I also believe was Jackson Lamb in there for the Presidents on the tackle.
Yeah, great penetration by Lamb on the left side of the President defense there to stack up that Red Raider run over to their right side. So this brings up a big 3rd down for North Quincy. They wanted to take advantage with this first possession. They don't want Quincy to establish themselves defensively. So big 3rd down play for Andrew Minton.
All right, play action fake, Minton rolling out and fires, and it is incomplete. Was looking for number 32, Eddie Ginto, and he could not bring it in. So bring up 4th and long for the Red Raiders, and they'll be forced to punt.
Nice call, well-designed play. The ball was a little bit behind Ginto, but that's okay for the Red Raiders if they get the punt off. Great job by the Presidents coming up with a stop there. Now, John, if you look at the shadows here, the sun is right in the eyes of the Quincy receivers, so that could be a factor.
All right, North punts it away, and it's going to be bounced at the 23, and Jalen Green and Jaquan Harris for the Presidents get away from it. North Quincy gets down and will down it at the 21-yard line, and that's where the Presidents will take over to start this game.
Yeah, Green and Harris was smart there. You may recall about 4 years back, John, there was a fumbled punt in a similar situation that caused a real sea change in the game on Thanksgiving Day. Well, this time the Quincy punt return men stayed away from the ball, and now the President offense will start 1st and 10 from their own 20.
All right, Quincy High School is led by James Lamb, their sophomore quarterback. He pitches it to the left to Jalen Green. Green's going to get across the 25, and we'll see where they spot the ball. Looks like it's going to be at the 27-yard line.
Yeah, John, while you and Noel were down on the sidelines doing the pregame, I was up in the booth here and working with Martin Dunham, getting ready on stats and trying to prepare for our game coverage. And Martin made an interesting point about sophomore James Lamb. We'll share with you after this snap.
2nd down and 6 for Quincy High School. And James Lamb, the sophomore quarterback for the Presidents, under center. And he's looking to pass, pump fakes, and fires to Jaquan Harris at the 35. He makes one man miss, gets across the 40 and up to the 45-yard line where he's knocked out of bounds by North Quincy. 1st down for the Presidents.
Yeah, nicely designed play, getting the ball into the hands of one of their talented guys. Watch this replay. As you say, John, Harris does a nice job of making the initial contact miss. Watch this little shift, boom. Now he's down the sideline. And got a little feedback there.
Yeah, definitely a little feedback in our ear there.
1st and 10 Presidents at the 45.
All right, Lamb's going to hand it off to Jalen Green, and he was able to get past the line of scrimmage, but not much further. He'll get up to the 47-yard line. Coming up for North Quincy was Mecky Pearson on the tackle.
I got to tell you, fired up North Quincy defense there. They were all over the ball carrier. What Martin mentioned was the fact that James Lamb is the 2nd sophomore starter in recent memory, starting at quarterback in the Thanksgiving Day game. The last one being Lance Peterson. And Lance won that game with the Quincy Presidents back in '07. So
All right, flags thrown on the play. Looks like North Quincy jumped off sides. Jalen Green gets a carry over to the left side, and he should have enough for the first down. He gets across the 50, and we'll get into North Quincy territory up to the 44. Again, we mentioned flag thrown on the play.
Referee John Magnarelli over there to get the call. We'll hear from him.
We have offsides on the defense. Declined. First down.
Another little item that Martin shared, John, is that the last time North Quincy High had a 2-year starter at quarterback in this game, it was Mike Stanton, and he won. Today it's Andrew Minton, who was started under center last year for the Red Raiders in a North victory. So a couple little dynamics from past games. They don't really say much, but interesting to consider here, as Lamb is under center in North Quincy territory. 1st and 10 on the 44 of the Red Raiders.
All right, Lamb back to pass, fires to Jaquan Harris. It's complete. Harris catches it at the 37-yard line and brought down immediately by Matt McPhail, number 22 for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, nice coverage there by Matt McPhail. He was right on the ball. If you watch this replay, McPhail's got to lay off Harris. He gives him a lot of room. You'll see as the ball arrives, he's got room there. But McPhail arrives just as the ball does. That's good coverage. And the Presidents moving steadily down the field on their first possession here, John. They're at the North Quincy 37.
2nd down and 3 for the Presidents. 6:53 left to go in the first quarter. Lamb play action fake to Jalen Green, looking to pass, and it is complete at the 32-yard line. Number 44, Max Joseph on the reception. Not sure if he picked up enough for the first down, and yes, he did. He gets up to the 31. Sure, it's enough for the first down.
We saw Pat Gavin out there and a host of other Red Raiders. North has had good coverage, but Quincy is executing in this first possession here. Lamb hitting his receivers. They've been hit as soon as they catch the ball, but both teams executing, but it's been Quincy's advantage thus far as they're steadily moving down against the Red Raiders.
1st and 10, Jalen Green with a pitch to the right side, gets across the 30 and up to the 28-yard line. Gain of 3 for the Presidents. Quincy High School comes into the game with a record of 6-4, 3-1 in the Patriot League Keenan Division, one of the best records for Quincy High School in recent memory.
Yeah, we saw in on that tackle Vinny Tran, a guy we've been talking about for a couple of years now. Vinny is a very aggressive football player, only a junior. Seems like he's been around for a long time, but he's a linebacker and is going to be a key figure for the Red Raider defense today.
2nd down and 7 for the Presidents. Jaquan Harris goes in motion. And Jalen Green gets the carry, but he is brought down immediately there by North Quincy. See if we can get the number of who brought him down. And that was number 42, one of the captains for the Red Raiders, Kevin Papadopoulos.
Yeah, Papadopoulos, a terrific athlete. Another guy back there with Vinny Tran. They really do a lot of work defensively. And Papadopoulos goes both ways for the Red Raiders. But this is a big 3rd down here, John. 3rd down, they're at the 28. Probably 4-down territory here if Quincy had or failed to get the first down here, but it's a big play in this opening drive for the Presidents.
So again, 3rd down and long for Presidents. Pass goes to Jaquan Harris over to the left side. He has the first down up to the 20-yard line, and he's knocked out of bounds by North Quincy, but great play there. A pass into the flat to Harris, and he makes a man miss to get up to the first down marker.
That was a beautifully designed play. They got the ball out into the flat, as you said, John, to Harris. He had some one-on-one action, and you know that Harris is going to win those battles. So he picked up the first down. Well-thrown ball by Lamb, who's really on today, John, coming out of the box. Lamb is very crisp, as is his President offense. 1st and 10 from the Red Raider 20.
4:38 left to go, and flag is thrown.
Looks like one of the Quincy guys missed the snap count there. And also looks like they were going to be executing a running play on that one. So Coach Connor on the sideline reacting accordingly. And looks like, is Quincy going to get a timeout here? It looks like Quincy is going to call a timeout. It's 1st and 15 now. Nice timeout by Reardon and the Quincy staff. They want to consider here. This is going to be very important here that the Presidents have some success. They're in the red zone. That little penalty sets them back at a 1st and 15. So far, James Lamb 4 for 4 for 39 yards and a very crisp opening drive. Thanks to Martin Dunham for that stat.
North Quincy comes into the game, Jim, with a record of 3-6, 1-3 in the Patriot League Fisher Division. But they're 2-2 at home this year, so they were able to defend their turf a little bit here. Quincy High School at home was 4-2 this year, so both teams had a lot of success at the stadium this year, which is a little bit different than in past years when we've been doing games. Unfortunately, we've seen a lot of losses here at the stadium, but it was good to see a lot of wins here at the stadium this year.
Right. And as Martin Dunham pointed out, or perhaps it wasn't Martin, but anyway, North Quincy High is 1-0 at games that start at 10 a.m. this year. They played Boston Latin.
That's right.
That was Jeff Hennessy we were talking with before the game about a morning start and how that can factor into outcomes.
All right, 1st and 15 for Quincy. Lamb back to pass, and he's going to keep it himself. He's being pressured, and he's going to slip and fall at the 30-yard line. Nice coverage downfield by the defensive backs of North Quincy. Lamb had nothing to throw downfield to. He tried to escape out of the pocket, but slipped at the 30. So it'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up now 4th and 20, as we're going to see in the replay real quick.
Yeah, and if you watch on the replay here, you're going to see Shane Kerbels, number 73, trying to get in here. Here comes Kerbels, and he gets blocked very nicely and really wrapped up by Shane Nazaro. Nazaro did a great job. John, I think it's actually 2nd and 20. There may have been a glitch on the field. You've been working very hard for a couple of hours, so.
Yeah, I looked at the wrong number on the scoreboard there. So, yeah, it's 2nd down and 20 now for the Quincy Presidents at the North Quincy 30-yard line. 3:40 left to go in the first quarter. James Lamb, play action fake to Jalen Green, and he's going to try to get away from a tackler. Kevin Papadopoulos blew that play up, Jim. Jalen Green was lucky to get 5 yards out of that carry.
Yeah, let's watch the replay here because you're right. Papadopoulos and then Vinny Tran really laid out Green. A super play there by Papadopoulos, and watch Tran come in. So that's great work by the Red Raider defense on a huge 2nd down play.
We've seen that play work numerous times for the Presidents this year on the draw, but North Quincy was ready for it here this morning. Under 3 minutes now to go in the first quarter. Lamb, and he's going to keep it himself, has a blocker in front of him. Cross the 25, and will get brought down at the 19-yard line. So get back almost to the original line of scrimmage.
It's going to be a 3rd and about 9 here. What do you think, John? Do you think that Green will attempt a field goal, or do you think this is a 2-play situation?
Well, it looks like with 4th and 9, looks like Quincy's going to go for it on 4th down.
Right, yeah.
All right, so 4th down and 9 for the Presidents at the North Quincy 19-yard line. First big play here, and North Quincy's going to call a timeout.
Quincy coming out with a wishbone look in the backfield. They had 3 backs here. First time we've seen that today. I'm sure that was one of the reasons for the timeout. We've talked about this before in prior games. Coach Connor not shy at all about using first half timeouts. It's one of the qualities we like, among others. He's very aggressive, trying to make sure in the first half that things are done properly. That's a good timeout on what is going to prove to be a big 4th down play here. This is what Bill Reardon did not want to see happen when he called his timeout about 4 plays ago. Quincy was looking at a 1st and 10 from the 20. There was an offside, making it 1st and 15. Reardon got the timeout to try to settle the offense and focus them. A couple of plays later now, they're looking at a 4th and 9. So first big play in this Thanksgiving Day game right here. 4th and 9, Quincy Presidents inside the Red Raider 20 at the 19, John.
Like you said, Jim, they come out again, the Presidents do, with a wishbone backfield. Jaquan Harris, Jalen Green, and Max Joseph behind James Lamb. Lamb's going to pass, looking for Alex Heffernan, and it is incomplete. They had Heffernan at the 5-yard line, but Heffernan couldn't bring it in. It was thrown a little behind him on a back shoulder pass. Just couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, let's watch the replay because we're going to have a nice shot from our camera here. It's a back shoulder pass, as you said. You can see he's throwing it behind him, and Heffernan could not quite make the adjustment to the ball. So similar to the Red Raider play. Coaches made a good call. The execution was there. It was a just miss. And now the Red Raider offense takes over on the 19.
Handoff up the middle. Antoine Allen on the carry, but Quincy is there to meet him. Maybe a gain of 2 for Allen on the play.
Yeah, they're running right at the gut of the President's line. I think that was actually Junto on that play who may have had the ball, trying to run him up inside. Red Raiders are trying to establish their offensive line. In the pregame, you heard from Coach Connor and you heard from Coach Reardon about this offensive line. A lot of confidence in the athletes. They like how they can execute. That's been the focus for North so far.
This time it's Antoine Allen on the carry, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage before he's brought down by several Presidents again. See if we can get some numbers there. Viet Dome's over there for Quincy High School. Junior Me looked like he was over there as well.
3rd and 7 here. So the North Quincy offense stalling out a bit in its first 2 possessions. This is at least potentially a big play here. One of the things Bill Reardon said is that Minton can really throw the football well, and he does. He's accurate, very talented. We'll see what he comes up with here.
3rd and 7 for North Quincy. Minton back to pass, rolling out, fires downfield, looking for Antoine Allen, and it's incomplete. Overthrew Allen by about 5 yards on the play. Viet Dome was down in coverage for Quincy, as well as Tim McDonald for the Presidents.
Red Raiders will punt, and we'll talk a little bit more about this right now while we have a moment. If you look at the shadow lines there, they are running directly behind the boys. The sun is right behind the North Quincy end zone here, the south end zone. So the punt return men are looking right into the sun.
Our punt goes off the side of the foot of the punter, but it takes a North Quincy roll, a great North Quincy roll. It's going to roll about 10 or 12 yards, and it'll go out of bounds on the North Quincy side of the field at the Quincy 49-yard line. So that's where the Presidents will take over with 47 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
Well, nice job of kicking away from the return men. When you're looking at Green and Harris back there, it's not a bad strategy at all, John. They clearly were kicking toward the sideline, North Quincy. They've got the ball into President's territory. Quincy has won the field position game so far in this first quarter. They've been on the Red Raider side of the field most of the quarter. They're at their own 49 now, and let's see how the Presidents do with their second possession.
1st and 10 for the Presidents at their own 49-yard line. And North Quincy jumped off sides to be able to get back. Jalen Green gets the carry, crosses the 50, still on his feet, pushing forward. And looks like he'll finally get brought down at the North Quincy 45-yard line. Great effort there by Jalen Green.
Yeah, very nice effort by Green. He kept driving his legs, wouldn't go down. Had a little bit of a scrum going there, and he made sure that he took full advantage of it. Picked up an additional 2 yards there with that push. Presidents back in North Quincy territory, inside the 45, just slightly, where it'll be a second and a long 4. As the quarter is about to end, we're down under 10 seconds.
Yeah, we'll see if they get
this snap off.
And it's going to be close. And no, they did not get a play. They snapped it almost simultaneously, but ball was just a little slow and getting the snap. So at the end of the first quarter of play, we are scoreless. I think we're going to go down now to our man on the field, Noel DeBona. Noel, take it away. We're having a little trouble with Knowles. Oh, there we go. Noel, take it away.
Oh, thank you, Jinkathon. We finally got through here. I was just talking to a couple of coaches here on North Quincy. I'm on the North Quincy side here tonight, and I talked to Ken McPhee about the defense. You know, you get through a quarter for the Red Raiders, and they got through that first quarter by stopping the Presidents from driving down the field. And, you know, their legs, they're going to have a lot of kids going both ways today. So, you know, they're going to have to be able to go the four quarters total. You know, they got through the first quarter here. You know, it's just going to go quarter by quarter. But these North Quincy Red Raiders are really coming out to play here today, stopping the Presidents with that penalty on Quincy. So back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Noel. As you mentioned, time of possession and on defense could be an issue. Martin Dunn just informed me for the first quarter, Quincy 8:03 time of possession, North Quincy 2:57. So the defense wants to try to stay fresh as possible, but the Quincy offense is going to stay on the field as long as they can and try to push them around. Again, we mentioned the numbers. Quincy has a lot of guys on the sideline. North Quincy has about 40 guys dressing today. All right, 2nd down and 4 for the Presidents as we begin the second quarter. Jalen Green on the carry, over to the left sideline, crosses the 35-yard line, up now to the 25, and spins around up to the 20-yard line. Great run there by Jalen Green up to the 20-yard line for the Quincy Presidents.
Yeah, Cole Barrett was out there alone and did an excellent job. If you watch this replay, once Green turns the corner, very dangerous for the Red Raiders. He gets outside there, and there you see Cole Barrett taking an excellent angle, shut him down. Red Raider pursuit gets over to help clean up, but a terrific individual effort by Jalen Green.
1st and 10 for the Presidents at the North Quincy 20-yard line. Green and Joseph in the backfield. They give it to Jalen Green again, right up the middle. Crosses the 15 and gets brought down to the 13-yard line. Jalen Green explodes up the middle. He is extremely quick, Jim, on the first step. We can see him stutter step, slow down, and explode off the stutter step as well.
Yeah, well, a big hole on that left side. Quincy offensive line doing an excellent job of blowing up the right side of the President's defense there. And Green went through the hole, went firing through, as you said, John. So some super blocking down there by the President offense. We'll talk about the guys over on the left side in a moment after this snap.
2nd down and 4 for the Presidents. Excuse me, 2nd down and 3 for the Presidents. Lamb again to Jalen Green, trying to go over to the left side of the field, but cannot, and is brought down there. Looks like it's number 63 for North Quincy, Vinny Tran on the tackle.
Yeah, it's your man, Vinny Tran. He's in there. Great penetration, great individual effort. If you watch this, you're going to see Tran penetrating. Watch the replay. Green down the left side, and here comes Tran. Solid tackle. You see him wrap him up. That was great stuff, and just a first-class individual effort by Tran. Loss of about 3 on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 7.
Quincy comes out with 2 receivers to the right of quarterback James Lamb. Play action fake. Lamb looking downfield to his right. Fires in the flat to, I believe that was number 44, Max Joseph. And he's going to get hit right at the 1st down marker. And they spot it at the 9, so it'll be a 1st down for the Presidents.
Yeah, the Red Raider coaching staff not happy because they felt that the defensive backs were a little too soft. They wanted their defense to close the gap. Looks like it's a 4th down here, John. They did not give them the
no. They first and
they
goal.
did give them the 1st down.
Got up to the 9-yard line.
But North Quincy was trying to get the D-backs up tighter on that play. Quincy took advantage of the soft coverage and got the 1st down.
1st and goal for the Presidents at the North Quincy 9-yard line. Max Joseph gets the carry in a wishbone offense. Goes up the middle. Late flag thrown on the play. Joseph got up to the 7, and we'll see what the flag is.
Looks like it's going against the Presidents. It's going to be a hold.
Flag is thrown at the line of scrimmage, so it looks like it's going to come back 10 yards and be a 1st and goal from the 19. We'll go down to referee Magdarelli for the call.
We have holding on the offense. Repeat 1st down.
All right, so it'll be 1st and goal from the 19-yard line for Quincy High School. 8:15 left to go in the 2nd quarter. We're still scoreless here at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Tell you, John, one thing that Quincy can't afford to do is take this second opportunity in the red zone and not get points on the board. That was a costly penalty. Let's see if they recover from it.
Lamb trying to get North Quincy, jumped off sides. They do not. Jalen Green on the carry over the left side. Cuts back up into the middle, across the 15, and back up to the 13-yard line. So it'll be second and goal from the 13.
I'll tell you, Mekhi Pearson just put quite a wallop on Green. We talk about the conditioning with the athletes and focus on a lot of the two-way players. Well, Jalen Green has taken 3 or 4 first-class hits here early on in this game, John. We'll see how durable he is because Quincy's definitely going to go to him a lot. One of the things we were talking about earlier prior to the game is how invariably a running back emerges in this ball game and leads his team to victory. We were looking at Jalen Green from the Quincy perspective.
Lamb back to pass, looking for Heffernan in the end zone. And did he get 1 foot down? No, incomplete. They're going to say he did not get a foot down. I'm not sure if he caught the ball either, Jim, at the end there. Heffernan made an outstanding effort to try to bring that ball down.
Yeah, if you watch the replay, let's see what the side judge was looking at because he was right there. And I think it was that Heffernan did not secure the ball as he was going out of bounds. He's got his hands on it. Yeah, it was right along the sideline. And the official, you can see him there on the right side of the screen. He was right on top of that play, so no disputing that call. Nice job by the side judge. Again, Lamb throws a beautiful ball out there to Heffernan. It's tough execution along the sidelines. Heffernan stayed with it but just ran out of room. So brings up a third down, yet another big third down. Stats on Green, according to Statman Martin Dunham, 11 carries, 63 yards, John, and we're just inside of 7 minutes in this first half. 7 minutes to go, so that's quite a performance by Jalen Green, and thanks for that, Martin.
All right, so we'll bring up now a third and goal for the Presidents at the 13-yard line.
Great timeout by North, trying to give the guys a little bit of a breather, freshen up, fire up. We were talking earlier about the fact, Noel from the sidelines, Noel DeBona, about the fatigue factor. Well, when you get to the Thanksgiving Day game, it's similar to Game 7 on the World Series, John.
All right, Lamb back to pass. He hands it off to Jalen Green. Green makes one man miss, gets up to the 5-yard line and up to the 4-yard line where he is brought down by North Quincy. Antoine Allen came up from his safety position to help make the tackle. I didn't see who made the initial hit. We'll bring up now a 4th and goal for the Presidents at the North Quincy 4-yard line.
And they are going to go for it. John, I was going to say, of course, it was a long count by the Presidents when I stopped there on my comment, but the theory in the World Series is all arms eligible, that fatigue's not a factor because it's the end of your season. Well, I'm sure that these athletes are going to be able to work hard until noontime this morning. So,
all right, 4th and goal for Quincy at the North Quincy 4-yard line. They're going to pitch it to Jalen Green now, reverse. Jaquan Harris has a man blocker, James Lamb, and he's going to go in for the touchdown. On the reverse, Quincy goes in and will strike first here on this 80th Thanksgiving football game at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Great call and great execution, taking advantage of the North Quincy aggression. Watch this replay, and you're going to see all the black shirts go to the right of your screen, following Green. And then when he pitches to Harris, there's really only one guy out there, but one guy is not going to be able to catch Jaquan Harris, and he's into the end zone. Quincy's going to go for 2 here.
I formation behind Lamb. They give to Max Joseph right up the middle, and looks like he goes in for the 2 points. He bulldozed his way through the end zone. So Quincy comes out and strikes first with 6:05 left to go in the second quarter. They lead the Red Raiders 8-0.
Nice job by the Presidents. They really needed to score here. There was a little bit of pressure on this offense when they were looking at that second down from the 19. After the holding penalty. They reacted very well, got the ball in the end zone, the 2-point conversion. So the Presidents post 8 on the board. They're the first guys to draw blood here. in this Thanksgiving Day ball game, and now the Red Raider offense going to take over and see how they respond. The one good thing from the North perspective here is this kind of clears the deck as far as field position goes. North Quincy has been buried deep, and even had they stopped Quincy, John, they would have been buried back inside their 5-yard line there. So now they've got a fresh look at field position. They'll hope they can take advantage. The Quincy special teams are going to look to pin North right away here. They've got a little bit of advantage in that they're kicking into the sun. We talked about that earlier, so we'll look for North special teams to adapt to that factor as well.
All right, Jalen Green will kick deep for the Presidents. Bounces at the 20-yard line, and it's picked up by McPhail at the 15-yard line. Great coverage for the Presidents, but McPhail spins out of it. McPhail now across the 20. I think we're going to have a block in the back, Jim, against North Quincy. Flag is thrown at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, and that's going to do exactly what we were just talking about. That's going to put North Quincy back inside their 10, I would guess. It looks like based on the spot, and it's a spot foul, they're going to be back inside their 10.
So, yeah, block in the back against North Quincy. Quincy High School, 126 yards, total yards here today so far, Jim. North Quincy, only 7. We'll see if they can change that with this upcoming offensive drive.
The ball at the 9-yard line. First and 10 Raiders from their own 9.
All right, so the ball will go back to the 9-yard line of North Quincy High School, and that's where the Red Raiders will take over. Again, Quincy just scoring leads 8-0. If you're listening live on QATV8, we appreciate it. You can catch the replay later on today at 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and at midnight. First play for North Quincy from scrimmage is a handoff over to the left side. I believe that was Eddie Ginto on the carry, and he looks like he gets a gain of 2 or 3 on the play. Spot the ball at the 12, so gain of 3. Second down and 7 now.
Yeah, with Pat's Jets going tonight, John, I'd expect that we'd only have mums and girlfriends listening to our 8 o'clock and maybe a couple of players. But our 8 o'clock coverage tonight.
Well, people can log on to QATV.org for all the replay times on Thanksgiving weekend, and, of course, it will be replayed the following week as well. So, again, QATV.org for all the schedules. Andrew Maitland back to pass. There's a man downfield looking to get it, and incomplete. Was looking for Matt McPhail down at the 37-yard line. Went in and out of his hands, but nice coverage also by Quincy's Jaquan Harris.
Yeah, I thought that was Viet Doan. I thought it was number 7. We'll see.
Maybe it was number 7.
Yeah, let's watch the replay because the coverage was absolutely spectacular here.
Yeah.
Ball's thrown perfectly. Watch the adjustment of the receiver, and the coverage is there, and I'm pretty sure it's...
That was Viet Doan, yep.
Yeah, Viet Doan.
He was hustling
right
back
there
to the line of scrimmage, so that last man was walking there was Harris. But, yeah, Viet Doan, great coverage down there. We've called his name several times, Jim, this year, and last year as well. He's had a couple of big years for the Presidents. Hand off to Kevin Papadopoulos right up the middle, the fullback. Gets up to the 15-yard line, and he's brought down there by Jackson Lamb for the Presidents. Jackson Lamb, Jim, leads the team in tackles. He had 111 coming into the game.
And he's been playing the left guard position for the Quincy Presidents. He was one of the guys we were going to talk about who's just been doing a remarkable job of blowing up that left side on the offense, opening holes for Jalen Green. Red Raiders are going to be forced to punt away. Good snap. Get it away quickly, and it's going to take a friendly bounce.
Jalen Green's back there, and he's just going to let it bounce past him and takes a nice roll. Initially started bouncing at the North Quincy 40-yard line, and it'll go all the way across midfield up to the Quincy 42. So a great roll there, an 18-yard roll. And the Presidents will take over now on their own 42 with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the second quarter. They lead 8-0.
That was a 43-yard punt by Matt Donovan, who's handling the punting chores for North Quincy. He's done a terrific job today, and that was very well done there. So good work for North Quincy. They've got Quincy back on its side of the field, but again with excellent field position at the 42-yard line.
Jalen Green on the carry. making a couple of men miss, trying to get outside, and the ball came loose. And North Quincy comes up with it. Still no sign yet from the officials. And yes, North Quincy forces a turnover from Jalen Green. And a huge turn of events here. They're going to take over at midfield.
Vinny Tran, I'll tell you what a football player he is. You saw Jalen Green. Watch this replay and watch Green. You talk about the way he can bob and dodge there. Start, stop, and there's the strip. Ball is loose, and Tran emerges. Your man, Vinny Tran. Great job by the Red Raider defense. Their first good field position today. They're at the 49. Big turnover for the Presidents, and let's see what the President defense does in response here. Nice stop over on the right side by, I think it was Jackson Lamb on that one, John. So, and they're right at the 50-yard line. Nice job by Lamb as the Red Raider offense tries to take advantage here.
All right, ball is, as you said, at midfield, so a gain of 1 for North Quincy. 3:40 left to go in the first half.
Here's a shot from a 20-yard camera. Maybe before we break for the half, we could talk about our crew out here today. They're enjoying the good weather.
All right, pass in the flat to Cole Barrett over the right side, and he is hit big time there by Jackson Lamb and Viet Doan, but Cole Barrett springs right up, and he's going to get up to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, that was just a first-class play on the part of all athletes. As you said, Barrett got the ball out on the flat, made a nice reception. Andrew Minton had to loft the ball over the charging lineman. He did so. And then when he get out there, he turns the corner and he's looking up at Viet Doan and Jackson Lamb. And they put a solid hit on him. But as you say, he popped right up. So nice play, all athletes.
All right, handoff goes to Eddie Ginto. Gets up to the 40-yard line and should be enough for the first down. See where they spot it. Yes, at the 40 and a first down for the Red Raiders. So Raiders move the chains here as we approach the end of the second quarter. 2:35 left to go. Again, Quincy leads 8-0. That's the first down for the Red Raiders here tonight, Jim. Or today,
right, and a big one as well. So Eddie Ginto, I've been calling him Junto all year. I gave him a soft G. It's a hard G.
Yeah, I believe it's Ginto, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I apologize to the Ginto clan, but great gritty run by Ginto inside.
Antoine Allen now with a carry, and he is met and stopped there. Again, Viet Doan, Jackson Lamb, and Peter Cedrone, one of the captains for the Presidents, come over and make the tackle, and a President is down on the field. Can't see the number.
Yeah, he's really hurt, and we'll hope he's okay. There's a trainer getting out over to him right away, trying to find out. It looks like he's motioning to his hip area. Not sure what happened. No, it's his hamstring area, so could be a cramp. Let's hope that's what it is. As I believe it was either the mayor or I think it was Mayor Koch said, let's hope no one gets hurt today. And that is the sentiment on Thanksgiving Day. You want to see the boys get out of the game healthy. They are checking his right leg. It looks like they're checking for cramps, so that's a good thing. But this is a big possession for North Quincy, John. 2:05 to go, and North Quincy is inside President territory for the first time with their first down in the bank, and they've got the sun favorably positioned here. The sun is low on the horizon this time of year, and so as a result, there's some shadow effect in the south side of the field. That, combined with the fact that the receivers are looking back for the ball, the sun will not be a factor for the North Quincy receivers, and that frees up Andrew Minton a bit. So we'll see if North Quincy doesn't look to go to the air a bit. We see now it's number 72, Ali Al-Jabori, who was down there on that. Great to see that he's walking off on his own. And a couple of folks from Fallon Ambulance there, the school trainer, and then head coach Bill Reardon. So see Noel DeBoner on the sideline. Nice shot of Noel. He's staying up to date with the coaches on exactly what's going on.
All right, so it's a gain of 1 on the last play. Was it Allen that ran that last play,
Yes,
Jim?
yeah,
Antoine
yeah.
Allen with a 1-yard gain there.
We
So
have
2
not
minutes.
talked about Antoine too much.
Yeah, not much at all. Antoine Allen gets a carry right here on the draw, and he is met and stopped immediately by the Presidents. See who can get the first number. That's number 80 for the Presidents, Matt Hines, who made the initial hit. Also over there, I believe, was Tim McDonald, number 18 for the Presidents as well.
Yeah, a little delay on that play. They're trying to do, it's similar to what Quincy did, trying to get an athlete the ball with an opportunity to do something. And that time, Allen, they thought on the delay they might be able to get him outside and past the defensive line rush, but he was thoroughly wrapped up, got nowhere. We have not talked about Antoine at all. He's had 6 carries for only 3 yards. President's doing a phenomenal job of wrapping up the North Quincy star back.
Minton back to pass, fires downfield, has Matt McPhail complete the 20-yard line, makes a man miss. Now at the 10, up to the 5, still on his feet and brought down at the 3-yard line. Huge play there for North Quincy with 1:03 left to go in the first half. Minton rolled out, passed. Jim, as he threw the ball, he got popped from behind, but McPhail was able to bring it in, as we're going to see on the replay.
Yeah, he sure did. Watch this replay. Now you're going to see Minton. Look at the white shirt coming. He just gets rid of the ball to a wide-open Matt McPhail. McPhail makes one guy miss, as you said, gets down inside the 5. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Red Raiders.
All right, ball is at the 3-yard line. As you said, 1st and goal, 50 seconds to go as the clock ticks away. Hand off to Eddie Ginter, number 32. And let's see, he's going to get up to the 1-yard line, it looks like. North Quincy still has plenty of timeouts, so if they need to burn one, they can, and they're going to do that right now, stopping the clock with 32 seconds left to go.
Yeah, well, this is a very interesting turn of events. A huge play by Minton and the Red Raider offense. Getting the ball inside the 5. What Coach Bill Reardon was hoping for was a possession here where North Quincy ended up either stopped or punting away. He would have been happy to go in with his 8-0 lead. But that's a big turn of events for North Quincy. They got the ball down inside. They're inside the 2 now, as you said, knocking on the door. And this is big challenge for the Quincy Presidents defense. See if they can't come up with a stop here as North Quincy looking at a 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal, handoff right up the middle, and punching it in for the touchdown is Eddie Ginto. Great run there for North Quincy to get another touchdown, as we're going to see in the replay. A pretty easy run here for Ginto.
Yeah, watch the replay, and you're going to see the hole that he ran through. Nice job with our sideline camera. You see Ginto get in untouched.
Great push there from the offensive line for North Quincy as well.
Fired off well. So, and now North Quincy will go for 2 here. Conversions going to be important in this game, John. We have an 8-6 score after 1 half of play, so it's a big 2-point conversion for North.
All right, Minton back to pass, looking in the end zone, and it's incomplete. Great effort there by number 3, Jaquan Harris, to knock that pass away. So North Quincy can't get the 2-point conversion, but they do get on the board with 29 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Quincy 8, North Quincy 6.
Yeah, we'll look now for North Quincy to kind of squib kick it away. All they have to do now is make mistakes, and I'd rather not make mistakes and hope to run out the clock. And that's a big turn of momentum for North Quincy to end the half with that touchdown. So great job for the Red Raiders. From the Quincy perspective, they have dominated the first half, and that fact cannot be lost on the players or the coaching staff as they head to the locker room. They'll look to take advantage here with their, they've got Harris and Green, 2 phenomenally talented athletes, and see if they can't create something on this kickoff. But you know that North's going to kick away from those guys and try to get to the locker room trailing 8-6. So it's going to be an interesting final couple of plays here. Special teams first, and then the Quincy offense, seeing if they can't make a big play with 29 seconds to go and seize back momentum. So here we go, John, with the kick.
All right, and it's going to be a roller right up the middle, up to the 30-yard line, fielded by Quincy. That's Jalen Green. And he's going to run it up to the, to the 44, and that's where the Presidents will take over.
Yeah, with 23 seconds left, they're at the 44-yard line. So now we've got North Quincy sending out a couple of extra defensive backs. They're going to play a little soft in coverage and just make sure that Quincy doesn't have a big play here at the end. Let's see what Quincy's looking to do. North is lining up the wrong side of the field there, at least initially. Trying to figure out what exactly North was looking to do, but
well, Quincy's going to call a timeout, and I don't think North Quincy's coaches were happy with the setup there by North Quincy either. They were trying to get some of their players to move further back downfield. So I think North Quincy caught a break there with Quincy calling a timeout. Although North, I think, was getting ready to call a timeout too, Jim, if they needed to.
yeah, well, the North defense was lining up in its side of the field. Although Quincy is at their own 45, so here we go.
All right, 23 seconds left to go. Quincy comes out with 4 receivers for James Lamb. Lamb back to pass, looking downfield, looking, throws out in the middle of the field for Jaquan Harris, and it's picked off there by Matt McPhail. Was tipped by North Quincy. McPhail picks it off, and he's going to run it back to the 25-yard line. McPhail has had several interceptions here this year. This one, give the assist to Antoine Allen. That's his 8th interception under the year, Jim, as we'll see in the replay.
Yeah, if you watch the replay, nice tip, good coverage. You knew that gunslinger Billy Reardon would go for it. There was no hesitation on his part. Reardon taking a shot, and although there's an interception and everyone's happy about it on the North Quincy side, it's not a terribly big play. And with Coach Connor, we'll expect them to take a knee and go to the locker room, and that's what they do. Essentially, John, Quincy took a shot. It didn't work. So while it is a turnover and a big one, not important, didn't impact anything, and it's just reflective of the fact that North Quincy's Bill Reardon is going to take his shots when he Quincy's Bill Reardon is going to take his shots when he can. They did there, and it didn't quite work. So, John, I'm going to turn it over to you to wrap things up. We got Noel DeBona down there approaching the coaches.
Yeah, I think those are going to try to get Bill Reardon. We'll see if he can. So, again, at the half, Quincy 8, North Quincy 6. Matt McPhail, again, his 8th interception on the year on essentially that last play of the half to wrap things up for North Quincy and to ensure that Quincy cannot score at the end of the half. Noel's still trying to look over there for Coach Reardon. All right, well, I think we have Noel ready to go. So, Noel, take it away with Bill Reardon down the field.
Coach Reardon, first half we talked a lot about penalties and turnovers.
Yeah.
And, you know, it happened in the first half. You still get the lead 8-6. You're coming into the second half getting the football. Talk a little bit about, you know, first half action.
Well, I mean, I was very happy with the way the first, quarter and a half went. But then that last half of the second quarter, I mean, you can't let them get back in the ball game like that. We got to hold on to the football. I mean, the penalty down here, that's okay, one holding penalty. But, and then the blowing assignment on the coverage, I mean, it just can't happen. It can't happen.
You know, time of possession. You know, North Quincy is going to slow this game, but they're going to speed it up. They're going to milk up that clock and try to eat away at it. And obviously, you're going to come out and throw and everything. Is there anything you can do in the second half that's any different than what you're doing in the first half?
No, I mean, I think we've seen what they're going to do defensively. I'm going to go in and shore it up with the boys now so they understand, and then we'll just hold on to the football.
Well, good luck to in the second half.
Thanks, Noel. Thank you.
All right,
Take it up to you guys.
Thanks, Noel. So, Coach Reardon, you're going to try to get some things settled in the locker room and make some adjustments. So, again, at the half, the Quincy Presidents 8, the North Quincy Red Raiders 6. We're going to take a timeout, and we're back with second half coverage in just a moment. You're listening to QATV Sports coverage of the 80th anniversary game between Quincy and North Quincy. We'll be back. Welcome back, everyone, to Veterans Memorial Stadium. We're at the half. The Quincy Presidents lead the North Quincy Red Raiders by a score of 8-6. Teams are getting ready to come out onto this field for the second half. I think what we're going to do real quick, though, is see some stats as the teams come out onto the field. Time of possession, Quincy leads by a score of 13 minutes. And, actually, I'm sorry, we're going to go down to Noel DeBona, who has Coach Jim Connor. Noel, take it away.
Coach Connor, the first half, you know, you came out and you had 2 turnovers and you capitalized on one of them. You're really eating up the clock very well. You're doing a great job. You know, it's 8-6 right now. Any second half adjustments, anything that you're looking to do?
Yeah, you know, we have made some little adjustments here, but overall we got to get the run game going. And right now Quincy's been running the ball well, and we're hanging in tough right now. And I think that once we start getting the ball moving, run game a little bit, I think that'll we'll see a little bit more success offensively. So that's kind of the things we're just trying to clean up and have.
Yeah, you know, get the run game going, then go with the play action. And you've done it a few times, and you've converted with it. Also, you know, the legs factor. You know, the kids getting ready for the second half. You know, are you going to do any substitution defensively or anything?
Yeah, I mean, we got 22 minutes, so we're going to go with the horses that we've been going with all season. This has kind of been, you know, our curse and blessing is that, you know, we have trouble with depth and numbers, and, you know, this is who we have, so we're going to live and die with these kids.
Well, good luck into the second half.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Noel DeBona, for that interview with Coach Jim Connor, talking about making some adjustments in the locker room, and hopefully they can do it, Jim. So, again, we were mentioning time of possession. Quincy, 13:28, North Quincy, 8:32. So we mentioned North wants to try to stay off the field as much as possible, especially on defense, but so far, Jim, they've been holding up against this potent Quincy offense.
Yeah, you'd have to call it a victory from the Red Raider perspective that they only trailed 8-6 heading into the locker room. From the president perspective, they've got to be happy that they've got the lead, and they're going to have the first possession here of the second half. So both teams had some positives coming out of the first half locker room. We'll see how that translates as the second half is about to begin, the last half of football this 2012 season.
All right, touches the Quincy player, but Jalen Green's going to pick it up, and he's got to break free now at the 40-yard line. He is quick, crosses the 50, one man to beat, stutter steps, and let's see, Lomas looked like he stepped out of bounds, but he did not. Stays, goes down the left sideline, and will get knocked out of bounds at the 26-yard line. So a huge return there to start the second half.
Yeah, I'll say huge return is right. Watch the replay, and you're going to see a young man who's quite an athlete, Jalen Green, pick up the ball, and this is just a terrific individual effort. He's wrapped up there. He's in traffic there. Bounces outside. Now it's a foot speed scenario, and a terrific job there running him down, cutting him off along the sidelines there. And it's 1st and 10 Presidents, 25-yard line of the Red Raiders. Again, great field position. That's been the story of the President's game.
All right, Jalen Green with a carry over to the right sideline, trying to break free at the 10, the 5, and will walk into the end zone for a touchdown. 2 plays here to start the second half. Both Jalen Green make things happen, and he gets a touchdown as Quincy goes up now 14-6 with a point after the come.
Wow. Explosive start to the second half by the Quincy Presidents. Watch this replay real quickly. You're going to see Jalen Green bounce outside. Here he goes, and once he gets out here, there's going to be no stopping him. You just can't. He gets behind the linebackers, and it's over. So nice effort by Jalen Green, who clearly had his Gatorade in the locker room there. Came out fired up, and bang, bang, 2 plays. Presidents are in the end zone with a 14-6 lead. Going for the 2-point conversion here, John.
They have 2 receivers to the left of James Lamb in an I formation. Max Joseph again on the carry, but North Quincy was expecting that play, Jim, and they're going to stuff it out. So no 2-point conversion, but more importantly for the Presidents, they still get on the board. Jalen Green, I believe, was about a 45-yard kick return, and then he punches it in for the touchdown. So 2 big plays there by Jalen Green, and the Presidents lead 14-6. with 10:38 left to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, just remarkable stuff by Jalen Green. A great individual effort. From the Red Raider perspective, stopping that 2-point conversion, they're now just 1 score out of it. It's 14-6, and Red Raiders, they're going to get the ball here. If they can get down the field, they can keep a back and forth to this ball game. But this possession is going to be very important on the part of the Red Raiders. They've got to show Quincy that they've shown up, or rather that they're coming out of the locker room ready as well. Quincy just exploded there. 2 plays. Great effort by Green, who's now going to kick off as well. We talked earlier, John, about how a player emerges every year. Well, this year, senior Jalen Green really having a phenomenal game so far, leading the Presidents. He's got 97 yards on the ground. That great kick return. He's kicking off here, and he's been the story so far.
All right, it's going to bounce at the 20-yard line, fielded by McPhail. He runs up now to the 30, and that's where he is going to get stopped, and that's where the Red Raiders will start their first possession of the second half.
Yeah, this is not good. It looks like he got hurt on that play as well. Might be his arm or shoulder. Looks like he's motioning toward his left arm or shoulder. We'll hope he's okay. He really got rocked. While he's down, and until we know what's going on, actually they're getting him right up. And it does look like it's a left arm injury. Actually, it's not, I thought it was number 22, McPhail. It's number 73, Shane Kerbels here, who got in ahead of McPhail in that scrum. They're checking his elbow and arm area. We'll hope that he took a helmet and that it's a bruise-type injury and not anything more serious. So, trainer's over there with him, and good luck to Shane on that one. Here comes the Red Raider offense, Sean. 1st and 10 from their 30.
Handoff goes to Eddie Ginto over to the right side. And he's going to get across the 35 up to the 36-yard line. So nice gain on first down for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, Ginto running inside the tackles. Noel DeBona talked to Jim Connor just before this second half started. Connor said he wants to establish that running game. We see on their first play, they're inside the tackles, and they are looking to establish the Red Raider offensive line here.
Handoff again to Ginto, this time to the right side, gets across the 40 up to the 41, right at the first down marker.
Looks like he got a friendly spot there on that one, and I think they may end up giving him the first down. Well, they're gonna.
Yep, they're gonna. Oh, yep.
First down.
Initially, looked like they were gonna measure it, but they do give him the first down.
Yeah, he stopped the clock to move the chains there. They're gonna move the chains, and Red Raider first down on their first series here. So a little different from the what went on in the first half, where it took them a while to get a first down.
Minton over to the left back to pass, and it's complete. Antoine Allen across the 50-yard line in Quincy territory, up now to the 40 and brought down at the 36-yard line. Great catch and run there by Antoine Allen.
Tell you what, it was also a terrific execution by Andrew Minton. I think the Quincy defense, I know that this broadcaster, I don't know if you were tweeting or not, but I was looking at McPhail. I thought the ball was running up the inside. We don't have time to look at a replay now as Minton comes back on the field with the play, but it was a beautifully executed, well-designed play. So the Red Raiders are inside the President territory at about the 37-yard line. Nice drive here. Both teams coming out of the locker room fired up here.
Again, Eddie Ginto on the carry, and he's going to be met and stopped there by Matt Kozlowski for the Presidents.
Oh, great job by Kozlowski there, John. He had his body positioned perfectly and just enveloped Ginto. Took him down after a gain of about 3. We'll quickly talk about the weather here. This is just one of the more spectacular Thanksgiving days we've encountered here in a long time. Game time temperature, just about 50 degrees. Wind not a factor at all. It's sunny and beautiful out. It's just a terrific day for football or to be a fan of football.
Play action fake. Minton still has it and evades one tackle but cannot evade the rest of the crowd that comes up. Peter Cedrone, one of the captains for the Presidents, was able to hold on to Minton's leg for the rest of the gang to get there and bring him down.
Yeah, that time there was a little too much going on there, and President penetration got to Minton. Number 73, Shane Kerbels, checking back in. He's got his elbow area taped. So as we hoped, it appears that he took a helmet on the elbow there during that scrum. And He's feeling okay now, and Minton back on the field with the play on a big third down here. It's 3rd and 11 for the Red Raiders, trying to keep the momentum that they're trying to establish as they start the second half here. Big third down play. 2 wideouts to the right.
3rd and 11. Minton back to pass. Gets pressure from behind. Hits Antoine Allen over the right sideline. And Antoine Allen was trying to evade the tackle of Gerson Lai. He was able to get around him, slipped up, had some open space, but again, he slipped. And will get up to the 31-yard line to bring up a 3rd and 6. We'll take a look at the replay real quick.
I think it might be 4th down, but here's the replay.
Yes, 4th and 6, yes.
Nice move by Green. He gets it out. We're in 4-down territory here. Red Raiders are at the 31. They have to get it to the 26. It's a 4th down play here. Big for both sides. Quincy looking to come up with a stop. They came out and exploded onto the scoreboard. Now the defense trying to react.
All right, Minton passes into the flat to Allen, and it is complete, but they will not get the first down. So it'll be a turnover on downs. He almost fumbled it, but North Quincy was able to pick it up and recover it.
I think they're calling it an incomplete pass there, John. Green was wrapped up almost immediately, and so the ball turns over on downs, as you indicated. President offense coming back out on the field, looking to maybe slow things down a little bit. While an explosive touchdown would be nice, I think Coach Bill Reardon would like to see a nice long drive here as well. James Lamb comes out with an eye set behind him and 2 wideouts to the left.
6:40 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Jalen Green with a carry, cuts up the middle, and there's a somersault in the middle of the air there. He was able to come down okay. He'd get up to the 38-yard line. Let's see where they spot the ball. Yeah, 38-yard line.
Yeah, nice run. Nice interior running by Green, who's doing it inside, outside, kicking the ball. He's doing it all for the Presidents, Jalen Green. He's the tailback. And there's a nice shot from a 20-yard camera. You see the set there, Peter Doherty's camera at midfield.
Again, Jalen Green with a carry in the I formation, and he is brought down there fairly quickly by North Quincy. See who can get the number who brought him down.
We have your brother.
Looks like it is going to be enough for the first down, and it is. First down for Jalen Green. Didn't need a lot of yards there, but got just enough for the first.
Yeah, this is what Bill Reardon wants. They're running the ball inside the tackles. They're trying to wear down the Raiders, run some clock. He'd love to see a nice prolonged drive here, and so far, President offense is doing what he hoped for. Split backfield now.
1st and 10 for the Presidents. Green again with a carry, and it's going to go up the middle, cuts up to the left side, back up the middle again, and will get across midfield up to the North Quincy 45-yard line, and another first down for the Presidents.
Yeah, and the thing we're seeing here is that the Red Raiders are getting up a little slowly here, John. They're starting to wear down. We see North Quincy sending in number 78, Don Sharp, a junior lineman. They're trying to rotate some guys a little bit, get some fresh legs in there.
Yeah, that was Matt Deagle who's coming out of the game. He's going both ways, Jim. He's also the center, so he has a lot going on there as the anchor of the offensive line as well.
Green's up to 121 yards and an outstanding performance here on Thanksgiving Day.
All right, first down for the Presidents, and false start. Looks like there's some confusion on the line with the count.
Yeah, again, the Presidents, not everybody getting the snap count right.
We have a dead ball foul. False start on the offense. First down.
Generally happens on a running play when when it's the guard who jumps, it's usually a running play. When it's the tackle, it's frequently somebody who's trying to get back to block on a pass. So that time it was the right guard. It was a running play. He was a little eager trying to fire out there, got caught. And so the Presidents are looking at a 1st and 15 from the 50-yard line.
Hand off to Jalen Green up the middle. Gets across the 45 and up to the 41-yard line.
Very interesting stat that Martin Dunham's just shared with us. Quincy, that was their third penalty, and what has been a relatively penalty-free performance on their part. North Quincy has no penalties in this game so far, showing some great discipline. All right, Quincy with a second and a long 7.
Hand off to Jalen Green, across the 40, and gets tripped up there, just shy of the first down. Gets brought down to 36. Need to get to the 35 for the first down.
Yeah, that time. Following his right guard, Junior Meade. And then also out on the right side there, Matt Kozlowski, the right tackle. Green firing over. It's going to bring up a third and about 2 on the right side. North Quincy get that timeout, John?
Yes, I believe so, yep.
Yeah. Coach Connor sensing the fatigue and then the importance of trying to come up with a stop here on a third down. Big third down play here. Because if North Quincy can come up with a stop, we would expect Quincy to punt. So this is a big possession. Connor realizing that, getting the timeout. Quincy is very successfully retaking control here. As Bill Reardon said, Quincy dominated the first half until that final North Quincy possession. He was very disappointed about that. But they went to the locker room with only an 8-6 lead. Well, they came out, exploded for a touchdown. They've regained control of the game. They want to continue that. They were trying to do so by establishing their running game, which they've done here, and they're now facing a big third down play.
Quincy is 2 for 4 on third down conversions so far this morning. We'd love to get another big third down conversion here. Are going to be 3rd and 2. Ball's on the North Quincy 42-yard line with 3.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
Wishbone backfield. Don't be surprised if we see Bill Reardon call a pass play, though.
Alex Heffernan goes wide to the right. They're going to give it to Jaquan Harris. Has the first down and more. Across the 30-yard line, now to the 20. Up to the 15, excuse me. Jaquan Harris, a big run there, and a big third down conversion for the Presidents to move the chains.
Yeah, watch this replay and watch Harris. Some great running. He was the outside on the tail,
Yeah, he was on the right side of that wishbone
right side
there.
on the wishbone is what I'm trying to say.
He was. That looks like that play was supposed to go to the left sideline, but he cut it back up the middle, and certainly made it work. So now it's 1st and 10 for the Presidents at the North Quincy 16-yard line.
Harris is a first-class sprinter in the spring for the Quincy High track program. Talk about that in a minute as they go back.
Play action fake. Lamb looking to throw and has nothing there. And North Quincy's defense is going to sack him back at the 20-yard line. Nice coverage downfield by the North Quincy defensive backfield. Forced Lamb to bring it down. He was going to try to run, but there was nothing there. So they moved the ball back to the 19-yard line.
Yeah, Lamb was looking at Harris, who had lined up in the left slot. I was saying about Jaquan Harris. He won the state coaches meet last spring as a junior in the 200-meter and was the #1 seed in the state meet in the 200-meter when he pulled up with a hamstring injury. So he is a Division I caliber sprinter. And the fact that they have him and Green back there poses a lot of challenges for this Red Raider defense.
2nd down and 13 now for the Presidents.
Green, the tailback, in a split backfield, and he gets it, John.
They're going to delay handoff to him. He crossed the 15 up to the 12-yard line. He will go. So it does mark it at the 12-yard line. So bring up now a 3rd down.
3rd and about 6, John.
We'll take a look at the replay real quick here of Jalen Green's latest run. Never gives up, Jim. Always trying to make something happen, and is very tough to tackle, certainly.
Yeah, he's very elusive.
Yes, definitely.
He's got that Danny Woodhead quality of getting so low, and very, very elusive and explosive.
So about 3rd and 5, I'm making 3rd and 6 for the Presidents. Ball at the 12-yard line. I formation for Lamb. They're going to give to Jalen Green up the middle, over to the left sideline, across the 5-yard line, has the first down, and will get up to the 3-yard line First and goal for the Presidents at the 3.
I'll tell you, we're talking about Jalen, but we've also got to talk about some of the guys in front of him who are laying down blocks. Over on the left side for Quincy, they've got number 62, Paul Nigro, the tackle, number 55, Jackson Lamb, the left guard. Those two guys have done an outstanding job. When you get over to the right side, it's number 52, Junior Mead, and then outside, Matt Kozlowski. And in the middle, the captain, number 54, Rich Turpin. Those guys are doing an outstanding job of blocking for Jalen Green today. And as a result, Green's up over 130 yards.
All right, they give it to Jalen Green, and
he's
going to be
short.
just shy. Yeah, he's going to get to the 1 yard line. Looked like he was going to go in for the touchdown, but he got stopped there. I did not see who it was from North Quincy that made the stop. Again, it's a little tough with these anniversary jerseys. The numbers on the front are very small, so I did not see who stopped him.
Yeah, another guy who's been in there a lot, and he's been blocking very effectively, is number 44, Max Joseph. Joseph is a guy who's been leading Green into the holes and done an excellent job. John, we've run the clock down on this third quarter. It was a fast-moving third quarter, with Quincy running the ball most of the time. So we're heading to the fourth quarter with Quincy knocking on the door and holding a 14-6 lead on Thanksgiving Day.
We were told in the truck that was Vinny Tran, number 63, who made the stop. All right, we're going to go down to Noel DeBona, who's down on the sideline. Noel.
Thank you, Jonathan. I'm down here on the field with the new inductee into the Quincy High School Hall of Fame of 1992. This is year in 2012, Allie Sleeman. Allie, how is after football, what it's like? What are you doing with yourself?
I'm currently a major in the U.S. Army. I teach leadership at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point.
That's great. That's great. You know, you talked about senior year and your junior year being. What was your record at Quincy High School against North Quincy?
Boy, we were 1-2. We lost in 1989, won in 1990, and lost again in 1991. So, some very good North Quincy and Quincy teams back then.
You know, how is life after, I know you were a wrestler and you've been around the world and you were alternate on the Olympic team at 138. How was that at Colorado Springs being at the training center?
It was outstanding. It was a great experience. I loved it. 2000, 2004. Had a great wrestling career and, moved on to other things now. So.
Yeah, and I know we were teammates back in high school, and I'll tell you were 165-pound linebacker, but let me tell you, you were Mr. Intensity. Are you still like that now? Have you calmed down a little bit?
I try to control myself a little bit more, being an Army officer. So, still try to take that intensity and tenacity to certain elements, particularly in combat, taking it to the enemy. So.
I know we hate to interrupt.
Well, thank you for you. Thank you.
And
a sneak.
Yeah, Lamb's going to keep it himself and pushes it in for the touchdown. James Lamb from the 1 yard line on the quick snap punches it in, and Quincy will go up now by a score of 20-6.
Yeah, that was well-designed play. He just jumped right in. We should look at the replay here. Watch the replay. It's a quick snap, and all Lamb does is he tucks up to the left of Rich Turpin, the captain, the guy we talked about earlier. He's the center. He makes the calls, the signals for the linemen. He's done an excellent job. And to his left, Jackson Lamb. Those two guys have really been very effective in the line play for Quincy High. They opened up a hole. The quarterback slipped through.
All right, Quincy's going to go for two. They give it to Jalen Green, and he will go over to the right sideline off tackle and go in for the 2-point conversion. So Quincy will now lead North Quincy by a score of 22-6 with 10:55 left to go in the ball game.
Well, John, we did not get to really talk too much before the game started, but coming into the game, I had felt strongly that Quincy was the favorite. They've had a terrific season. They've got a lot of talent and a lot of numbers. They have depth. They've had a lot of success, so we had to give Quincy the edge coming in. My thought, however, was that if North Quincy was still in this ball game when the fourth quarter started, that things would shift and that you'd have to give North an edge because there's a little bit of pressure on this Quincy High team. They're coming in as the favorite. Their coach talked about the fact that they're painfully aware that they've lost 3 in a row on Thanksgiving Day. so they felt a little pressure. And I thought that if North Quincy was in this ball game, that pressure could be a factor in the fourth quarter, and it might give North the edge. Well, the fact is that Quincy has done an excellent job reacting today. They've executed on the field. They have this 22-6 lead. And if North can't do something with this possession, it's going to be very difficult for them to get back in this ball game, John.
Kickoff is fielded by North Quincy at the 15-yard line. And ball carrier is going to take it up to the 30, make it the 34-yard line. I believe that was Antoine Allen for North Quincy on the return. North Quincy, Jim, as you mentioned, they've struggled on offense. They have 102 total yards here this morning. Jaquan Harris, has 152 yards. Actually, Jalen Green has 152 yards rushing by himself. I want to thank Martin Dunham for that stat.
Yeah, that's a great stat, Martin, for you to share, a North Quincy High guy. Better stay away from your friends after telling us that.
All right, Antoine Allen gets the carry for the Red Raiders. He'll get up to the 37-yard line, but a flag is thrown.
Looks like this one's
We have
going against the
holding
Raiders.
on the offense. Okay, do you want to?
Well, as I was saying, this is a very important possession. With 10:44 to go, we just started the fourth quarter. North Quincy has to capitalize here and put themselves back in this ball game. This possession, I think, will really say a lot. If they can do so, then could be an interesting finish. But if Quincy comes up with a stop here, the way they've played, and I'm sure Coach Reardon told them that he wants to see them play the entire half here, unlike the first half in the locker room. So, be very interesting.
Eddie Ginter's going to get the carry. Actually, I'm sorry, I think that was Cole Barrett who got the carry. Double check the number. Yeah, it was Cole Barrett on the carry. Another flag is thrown. With a penalty, the ball got moved back to the 24-yard line, and Barrett moves it up to the 25, and it was a chop block called against North Quincy.
John, you may recall a few years back that whenever I'd say something nice about Danny Jackson, hard times would beset him, the former tailback for the North Quincy Red Raiders, a super athlete.
We have an illegal chop block on the offense. Repeat, first down.
Jackson was a terrific athlete at North Quincy High, a great kid. I was a big fan of his, and I'd talk about that fact, and then boom, something would go wrong in Danny's life. Well, the Red Raiders, we had just pointed out 0 penalties, and what do they do in this critical possession? But first 2 plays, 2 penalties, both 10-yarders, puts them in a position where they were 1st and 40, believe it or not. So just a 1st and 30, rather. Terrible situation for North Quincy. They're going backwards. I'll accept responsibility for it. But
well, we can blame Martin for giving us the stat.
Yeah,
no penalties.
there you go. Yeah. But having done that now, it's time for North Quincy to step up here. Presidents are playing a little bit, they're playing too deep here, and they're playing a little soft because they have the luxury to do so now. All they need to do is stop North Quincy. They can give up 5-8 yards. They've got plenty of room to let North Quincy.
All right, Andrew Minton's looking to pass, and he's going to get hit and brought down there, and a flag's going to be thrown. This could be helmet-to-helmet contact or something on the lines. Kator Simmons and also Junior Meade were over there for the Presidents, but a flag was thrown.
Yeah, it was the referee. It was right there on the play.
We have a personal foul, hitting with the crown of the head, automatic first down.
So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty against the Presidents and an automatic first down. We'll take a look at the replay real quick and see what happened there as the quarterback got sacked.
Yeah, Minton can't find anybody here, and now here comes the hit. I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I don't
know if that was intentional. I mean, I think he just came in and wrapped him up, but I don't think he was trying to spear him or put his head down in any manner. But nonetheless, helmet-to-helmet contact, they certainly take serious now. So a 15-yard penalty against the Presidents, and the Red Raiders will get an automatic first down.
Yeah, that was a huge call because of the first down. The Presidents, I was saying, they had the luxury of being able to play soft on D, give up the short 5, 6, 8-yarder and make the tackle because North Quincy was looking at they had to come up with 30 yards for a first down. So Quincy was sitting in a great position, but with that penalty, it's all changed, and now we got to see if North can't capitalize.
All right, Minton back to pass with play action and fake. Has a man downfield. Antoine Allen complete at the 45-yard line. Now at the 40, up to the 30. Makes a man miss at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, North Quincy!
Oh, huge play!
A 70-yard touchdown pass to Antoine Allen, and North Quincy, Jim, comes back and answers the bell.
I'll tell you, that's exactly what they did. And watch this replay. What a beautifully designed play. McPhail clears out the middle. Allen is open, and it's not enough for him that he's going to pick up 60 yards. He's looking to go all the way, and look at that great move. Once he gets behind the defensive back, there's no catching him. And Antoine Allen into the end zone. A huge turn of events for the North Quincy Red Raiders here. Let's see if they can convert.
A 2-point conversion. Eddie Ginter right up the middle, and it's good. So North Quincy gets an important 2-point conversion. And the score is now 22 for the Presidents, 14 for the Red Raiders.
I'll tell you, that is just what the doctor ordered for the North Quincy Red Raiders. They needed that play, or that touchdown, not that play. The fact it came in one play is electrifying from the North Quincy sideline. Pump some life back in. Over the other side of the field, the Quincy Presidents. Coach Bill Reardon has his hands full now as he's got to calm his boys down and remind them that they had taken complete control of this game and they have to reassert themselves here. They don't want to see a replay of what happened in that first half where they let down on the back end of the half and let North Quincy back in the game. That's essentially what's happened here. And as I mentioned, that last possession was critical for North Quincy. Well, this one becomes a big one for the Presidents. If they can take the ball and do what they've done on their first couple of possessions of this half, establish a nice flow offensively, and retake control of this game, then Coach Reardon will have achieved what he'd hoped for. But from the North Quincy perspective, they're going to look for come up with a stop, and then they're only one score back here, John, at 22-14.
Andrew Minton, 5 for 9 passing for 145 yards in that touchdown. Antoine Allen, 3 receptions out of the backfield for 99 yards, and that touchdown we just saw as well. So North Quincy will be getting ready to kick off.
All right, and we've got to watch the sun here. That's going to be a big factor.
Number 59, Mackay Pearson, set to kick off for the Raiders.
Mackay Pearson, kicks it off. And it's going to be fielded by Harris at the 20-yard line. Harris now at the 30-yard line, making several men miss. Gets up to the 40 and brought down at the 42-yard line. Great return there by Jaquan Harris. We'll call it a 24-yard return.
Yeah, right up the gut, too. That was wonderful running by Jaquan Harris.
Jaquan Harris for the Presidents.
All right, so Quincy, great field position at the 42. Nice job by Harris, the senior, getting the offense set up. And here we go, big possession for the Presidents.
All right, so Quincy has the ball at the 42-yard line. Jalen Green will get the carry. He'll cross the 45, and we'll get up to the 47-yard line.
This is exactly what Quincy wants to do. They got a nice kick return, great field position, 5-yard gain on first down. They're running the ball inside. The clock's running. It's going to run down to about 8:30 here on this particular possession. And Quincy's going to try to calm everything down here and take the air out of the North Quincy bubble.
Second down and 5 for the Presidents. 8 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. And we're going to have a flag thrown. It's going to be a false start on the Presidents, it looks like.
Yeah, I was going to say, looked like that little rock by Jackson Lamb. There may have been an issue with
We have a dead ball foul. False start on the offense. Second down.
Yeah, it looked like Lamb was coming back out to receive the snap just before he said hut or something along those lines, and ball didn't get snapped in enough time.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of confusion on snap counts for the Presidents on 4 or 5 plays. The other thing you can tell watching the North Quincy linemen jump around, first of all, they're a very aggressive group, whipped into a frenzy by Coach Ken McPhee. But secondly, you can tell that Lamb's working his snap count well, too. He's been effective with that, keeping North off balance.
22-14, Quincy on top of the Red Raiders. Second down and 10 for the Presidents at their own 42-yard line. Jalen Green trying to get out of harm's way, but cannot. Eddie Ginto comes up with a big play, but a late
penalty.
flag is going to be thrown. Looks like it's going to be a late hit against North Quincy.
Yeah, and that's a shame because North Quincy made the stop. We're going to get the call here. Unfortunately, Green looks like he's injured, too. North Quincy coaching staff is furious on the sidelines. You don't see Jim Connor get upset. He's great at controlling his emotions, but he is absolutely livid down on the sidelines with that late hit. So,
Dead ball foul, personal foul, late hit on the defense, automatic first down.
Let's take a look at the replay, Jim, and see how it came in. The play looked like it was certainly well over. This is going to be from our sideline camera.
Automatic first down.
yeah, Green's tied up. Now he's going down, and here comes the player. There it is there. And just really
You can
well
see
after the play.
Antoine Allen saw it happening as well. You could see the frustration as he saw it happen, and he knew the flag was going to be thrown there. So North Quincy comes up with a big play, but unfortunately a mental error there against the Red Raiders. So
This is similar to the mistake made by the Presidents, and it's reflective of the fact you have young men who are all hyped up and really, you're out there playing football. So
it's almost a 25-yard turn of events there, Jim, for the Presidents. Instead of 3rd and long, they have a 1st and 10 on the North Quincy side of the field. Quincy comes up reverse. Jaquan Harris has it. Crosses the midfield out to the 45, now at the 40, still on his feet. 35 knocked out of bounds by Eddie Ginto at the 33-yard line. So a first down for the Presidents on a reverse.
yeah, now what we've got to do here is see as Quincy, they picked up a first down. They're inside the 35 at the 33. Got to see if North Quincy can't collect themselves defensively and make a play here. Coach Reardon taking his time, calling the plays. They're going to run this clock down. Actually, the clock stopped as Harris went out of bounds. But one of the things he's trying to do is just slow everything down, calm everything down, and he's doing a good job of it here.
All right, so it's Quincy Presidents ball in North Quincy territory. Ball's at the 33-yard line. 6:59 left to go in the ball game. James Lamb under center, taking his time. Play action fake to Jalen Green, looking downfield. Launches it down for Alex Heffernan, and it is picked off by North Quincy at the 2-yard line. Crossing out of the 20. And a couple flags are going to be thrown here. Looked like it was Antoine Allen on the interception. And yeah, it was Antoine Allen with the return. So now we just have to see what the penalty markers are.
You know, another flag just got thrown. I'm not sure if someone had something to say as well. The penalty is going to be against the Red Raiders. I think it's some sort of block on the run back by Allen.
We have an illegal block in the back, on the run back, first down.
Big turn of events there. Jaquan Harris stepped in for Green and did a terrific job of doing so. He had 3 carries for 40 yards on that series there, John. So the Quincy depth showing through there. But Jalen Green, Antoine Allen, who's had a tough afternoon so far, tough morning I should say, comes up with a huge play. Great run back. Block in the back sets North back, but let's see what the Red Raider offense can do.
Handoff up the middle, but not much happening there. Eddie Ginto on the carry for the Red Raiders.
So North Quincy with the ball, trailing by a score, 22-14, 6:30 on the clock, looking to make something happen. President defense has to step up here. They've played solid all game, John, and we'll see what they can do as they face this challenge from the Red Raiders. coming up on 6 minutes to go.
Minton looking to pass, and it is complete in the flat to Antoine Allen at the 15-yard line. Made one man miss, but couldn't make the rest of them miss. Gerson Lai comes in, as well as Jackson Lamb for the Presidents on the tackle.
All right, a nice little pickup. Red Raiders get it out to the 18, where it's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 4. It's going to be a long 3, short 4 type situation for the Red Raiders, as they're just short of their 18-yard line. There's a shot from a 20-yard camera down on the field. Who's manning the south 20-yard camera? Do you know, John?
I believe that's Frank Hogan down on the sideline.
Gotcha.
And then down the field, we have Mark Crosby and Angel Torre. Play action fake. Minton rolls out to his right and is going to keep it himself. He's going to run the ball. He'll get tackled at the 18-yard line, maybe the 19, so maybe a gain of 1. And it'll bring up a 4th down and 3 for the Red Raiders, and it looks like they bring the punt team on.
Yeah, no one was open. Minton saw that, did a good job of recognizing, not trying to force anything. He tucked the ball and tried to pick up the 1st down. It just was not there. So we've got Matt Donovan, a junior, out there to kick. He's been very effective for the Red Raiders. And back for Quincy, Jalen Green.
Good kick by Donovan, and he'll take a North Quincy bounce. Quincy will get away from the ball, and it will bounce all the way down to the Quincy 42-yard line. North Quincy is 2 for 7, Jim, today on 3rd down.
Yeah, the President defense, John, has done an outstanding job of stepping up when they've had to. It's a flag down on the field, couple of flags. Let's see what this is about.
Okay.
We could have a clean hands.
It looks like they're calling Quincy back, so I don't know if this is going to be against the Presidents before the snap or what exactly happens.
We're looking for the officials to get their act together. John Magnarelli is over on the far sideline. I'm not sure what he's doing.
He was looking for Coach Reardon. He thought Coach Reardon was more down towards the south end zone, but he was at the Quincy 40-yard line, talking to him now.
Yeah, but there's 2 flags.
Yeah.
One of them was picked up and shouldn't have been.
Yeah, there are 2 flags at the North Quincy 33-yard line.
I think Coach Kahn is concerned that Magnarelli's only addressing the 1st flag. There was one of them downfield where North Quincy punted from, and I don't know if he was looking for a holding call or something that might allow North to retain possession. But Magnarelli's over talking to Reardon, and a couple of the other officials are over talking to the North coaching staff. So
all right, here comes John Magnarelli.
Back here. We have a block in the back. On black is refused.
Illegal block in the back against the Raiders. The penalty is declined.
We have a block in the back on white. First down.
All right, so Quincy will have a block in the back on the return. So the ball will go back to the 32-yard line of the Presidents.
yeah, and Reardon, rather than take any risk on a subsequent punt, he just wants to put the ball in the hands of his offense with 4:40 to go. He's got confidence in this group. They played well all game, and now it's up to them to bring this game home for the Presidents, John.
I hand off Jalen Green over to the right side, makes one man miss, another man miss, and will get up to the 45-yard line for the 1st down for the Presidents. Moves the chains with 4:30 left to go in the game.
We're seeing the fatigue factor kick in here, John. The Red Raiders have tackled well all year. It's a very, very well-coached team. We've talked about that. You saw that in the first half. There were few missed tackles and few broken tackles on the part of Quincy. North Quincy, very solid. Well, now here, as the game winds down and the fatigue sets in, Jalen Green has broken a couple of tackles. He did on that particular run. And it's something the Red Raiders, they've got to reach down inside here, come up with a stop. Ball's on the 45 of Quincy.
All right, Green against the carry yet again over to the right sideline, over the right tackle. And North Quincy's going to call a timeout to stop the clock. Green gets up to the 46 So they mark the ball up to the 48-yard line.
Looks like they're charging Quincy with that.
Oh, I'm
timeout.
sorry. Yeah, it looked like North had called the timeout, but Quincy.
30-second timeout.
I'm a little puzzled. I don't know that it was before. They're crediting with a run, even though the whistles were blowing during the run. It looks like they're going to give him the 3-yard gain, and that play is going to count. So it's going to be a 2nd and 7. Quincy get a timeout after the run, stop the clock, 3:58 to go. Not sure what that was about, but
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It looked like it was a perfect opportunity for North to call a timeout, but instead it gets charged to the Presidents. Jalen Green to carry, crosses the 50-yard line, and is stopped there by North Quincy.
going to bring up a big 3rd down play here. It's going to be 3rd and a long 4. And this is a situation where if North can stop Quincy, Quincy will be punting the ball away, even though Bill Reardon is extremely aggressive and a risk taker. I can't see him going for it on 4th down here with the ball, I should say the 1st down marker so near midfield. So big 3rd down play. If North can come up with a stop, they'll have another shot here. If Quincy can get a 1st down, they're going to take control of this ball game with 3:50 to go.
All right, 3rd and 4 for the Presidents at the North Quincy 49-yard line. Jalen Green with the carry. Here's the 1st down and more. Across the 40, still on his feet now at the 30-yard line. Springs to the outside, makes a man miss at the 20-yard line. Now at the 15, and finally brought down at the 13-yard line. What a run by Jalen Green.
Terrific individual effort. He did 2 things on that play. Watch this replay while we talk about them. 1, he got the 1st down. 2, he really took the air out of the Red Raider sails, because with that, the Presidents are now in scoring position. They've got the clock running down. They've really shifted the field here. The ball is deep in North Quincy territory. And that was a huge run by Jalen Green. We'll ask Martin Dunham to get us Jalen's totals here. He's got to be up over 150 now individually. That was a terrific run. We talk about it every year, John. A senior emerges. This has been Jalen Green's Thanksgiving Day game.
And they're going to give it to Jaquan Harris this time. He gets to the 10-yard line, and he stays in bounds. Nice job there by Harris to make sure he didn't stop the clock himself, and North Quincy will call another timeout.
John, I missed a few yards. I said that Green's got to be above 150. He's at 212. That's not bad.
No,
I'll
certainly
tell you.
not.
What an individual effort by Jalen Green. Talking before the game with Martin Dunham, he mentioned the year that sophomore Lance Peterson started for the Presidents. That was the Arredondo game. It was Diego Arredondo? Yeah, there's several of them, and Diego Arredondo was a human bowling ball that game. It was just amazing what he accomplished that year. Well, Jalen Green is matching that performance. He's just been spectacular out here, and with that run, as we said, you could just feel the air go out of the North Quincy sideline. We're over on the home side of the field. North Quincy is the home team today, and that was a very deflating run from the Red Raider perspective. Over on the Quincy side, they felt great about that because they've reasserted control. They've got the lead, they've got the ball, and they've got the clock running. So it's terrific from the President perspective, looking to keep it continuing as they've got the wishbone backfield behind quarterback James Lamb.
As you mentioned, 212 yards, 8 yards of carry for Jalen Green. They give it to him this time, over to the right side of the 5, and he dives for the end zone and gets in. Touchdown, Jalen Green and the Quincy Presidents with 3 minutes left to go in the ball game.
Very impressive. I'll tell you, he really reached down inside, Jalen Green did. These last few runs have just been absolutely phenomenal. And you see a lot of the boys out there on both sides of the ball, dragging, getting up slowly. Well, Jalen Green has been completely energized. And with this performance, he puts himself up over 200 yards. He picks up his is it his second or third score of the game? His second score of the game. And more importantly, it looks like, absent a quick score from the Red Raiders, that he has sealed a victory for the Presidents today. It's 28-14. They're going for two, and Harris.
Jaquan Harris will get into the left corner of the end zone for the two-point conversion. So make it 30-14 for the Presidents on top with exactly 3 minutes left to go in the game. So we got a huge turn of events there, Jim. A couple of penalties back and forth. North Quincy looked like they might be able to stop the Presidents, but again, Jalen Green comes up with that big run, pushes it down inside the 10-yard line, and then he finishes it off himself for his second touchdown of the game.
Yeah, and make no question about it, even though the Presidents did pick up a penalty call when they were backed up, what they did was, they put their fate in their own hands. They gave the ball to their man, Jalen. Boy, did he perform. And we're going to mention the names again because they deserve great credit. Starting on the left side, you've got Paul Nigro, you've got Jackson Lamb, Rich Turpin. Then you get over to the right side, and we're looking at Kozlowski and Junior Meade. These guys have done a terrific job all game. They've been very aggressive blocking. They've opened up holes, and it's the Presidents' running game that's really dominated here. Time of possession, they've dominated the field. Jalen Green has just been spectacular. He's going to kick off here to the Red Raiders now. Really need a big play on this return.
All right, it's going to be a ground ball kick by Jalen Green, fielded by Antoine Allen at the 18-yard line. Makes a couple men miss and will fight his way forward up to the 31, it looks like. So North Quincy will start this drive with 2 minutes and 55 seconds left to go in the ball game, trailing 30-14 at their own 31-yard line.
We'll look for Minton to go to the air here. Raiders have to score quickly. One of their guys came off the field. He's a little dinged up. For North Quincy, number 81, Sean Thomas, a senior. And that's a guy who could be out there.
He's one of their passing threats as well.
Yeah, exactly. And he really got racked up there on that play.
All right, 1st and 10 for North Quincy. Minton back to pass, pump fakes, and was looking for McPhail downfield. He's going to keep it himself, crosses the 35, and will get up to the 39-yard line. North Quincy's will go into a no-huddle offense and try to get things going as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that time Quincy going with soft coverage. They're going to give up the short plays. They can afford to do so here with this 2-touchdown lead.
Minton rolls out to his left, and it is complete to Cole Barrett for the first down at the 49-yard line.
North is trailing by 16, John. They need 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions. That's a big load. They're at their 49 now.
All right, clock continues to run now, and actually
Reardon got a timeout just before the snap.
We'll see if they put a couple of seconds back on the clock. The clock did start to run. Actually, no, they're going to keep it there because clock started to run legally there before the timeout was called. So 30-14. Again, it's our score, 2:19 left to go in the ball game. North Quincy has the ball at their own 49-yard line.
I don't know if we can get a shot. It's really a nicely filled stadium today, John. A lot of fans here for today's game. I don't know if Peter Doherty could pan the stadium once before actually not now. They're breaking the huddle, but maybe after that we can get a look at if there's a break.
Certainly one of the largest turnouts we've had in the last 10 years, Jim. Minton back to pass, and it is almost picked off by Jaquan Harris.
Yeah, the clock will stop now. Maybe we can get a look. There's a shot of the Peters getting a look at the Quincy sideline. Here we go. Nice job by Peter Doherty. A lot of fans there, and then as you get to the north end zone, it's always packed down that end of the field.
Yep.
And south end zone is equally crowded, and now you're getting a look at the home stands where North Quincy High fans, you see the red and black. Minton back to pass here.
Yeah, rolling out, faking. He's got the hurry, and he's going to throw it away. Nice decision there. Being pressured by Shane Nazaro, the senior lineman for the Presidents.
That'll bring up 3rd and 10.
We have now a 3rd and 10 for the Red Raiders against their own 49.
Yeah, Nazaro is lined up over on the left side. He's the left defensive end, and he came all the way across the field chasing Minton to the right sideline. Nice effort by Nazaro. Shane Nazaro, a senior. If I'm correct, and I'm pretty sure he's got a brother on the team. Twin brother maybe, because he's the same year, Tim Nazaro. So.
All right, 3rd and 10 for North Quincy at their own 49-yard line. 2:09 left to go. Andrew Minton looking to pass, and he's going to try to get sacked, but no, he gets it off to Cole Barrett. But Barrett is popped there by Jackson Lamb at the 45-yard line. But it's still a decent play for North Quincy. They'll now bring up a 4th and 4.
Yeah, but the critical factor here is the clock is running, John. We're down under 150 as they get the play in, and this is one of the problems North Quincy High has is they're not built to move quickly, this team, as far as getting plays in and out and whatnot. So that's a factor here. 4th down.
All right, 4th and 4. Minton looking to pass. Still looking. Fires over the middle of the field. Complete to Matt McPhail. Up to the 25-yard line and brought down at the 22. So big first down for North Quincy. They'll hurry up to the line. The clock is stopped to move the chains.
Yeah, the chains aren't moving too quickly either, so.
All right, clock continues to run now. First down for North Quincy. Minton looking to pass again. Fires over the middle of the field. Was looking for McPhail again, but it's incomplete. Coverage down there by Tim McDonald for the Presidents.
Yeah, I'm sorry, John. Andrew Minton has done an excellent job of staying poised in that pocket and holding the ball for as long as he can to try to get a receiver open. He's done a terrific job, and he's delivered. He's been on target for the most part today. Not everything he's thrown has been caught, but he's given his receivers opportunities to catch the ball. And we've got a 2nd and 10 from the 22. But more critically, there's 1:16 to go. That's the real issue here, is the time left in the ball game.
And Minton in the shotgun, steps up, fires to the left side, complete to Matt McPhail, and he cannot get out of bounds. Great tackle there by senior captain Andrew Schaff. Started the season as the quarterback, but broke his leg in a preseason game. Sat up most of the season recovering. Made his return on the last game of the year against Silver Lake, and comes up with a big play there to keep Matt McPhail in bounds, and North Quincy calls a timeout.
Yeah, and you have to give Andrew Schaff a lot of credit, and actually the Quincy team. We'll talk about that next. But here's a young man, a senior, really aiming toward a successful season. He was ready to go, very excited. I happened to see him during the preseason at a fundraiser, and he confidently predicted a great performance by the Presidents this year. But then to be injured as he was, it had to be very difficult, but he worked hard to get himself back. And unselfishly, he's stepped in defensively and left James Lamb, who's had terrific success as a quarterback, stand in for Andrew after getting injured. He's done a great job, and Andrew came back, left Lamb at quarterback, and did his thing to contribute. So he deserves a lot of credit for that. And the Presidents as well, losing a captain, their quarterback. They took that, and they've made a great success of this season, notwithstanding that. So credit to all.
Matt McPhail was 68 yards on the day, and pass by Minton's intercepted by Jackson Lamb at the 1-yard line, and that should wrap it up. North Quincy had just called their final timeout, and that interception will win the game for the Presidents.
Yeah, I don't think we can do kneel downs here, given where the ball is, but we'll let the Presidents deal with that issue with a 30-14 lead. I'm sure they'll figure out how to run this final 58 seconds off the clock. Minton trying to drop a little touch pass down the middle seam there. That was just a little seam route by the receiver. And as you said, the linebacker was on him. They looked back, and boom, the ball was there. So nice job by the President defense of stepping up. And it looks like now as Lamb comes on the field, they've just got to run down this final 58 seconds, and they're going to take home a big victory. Here we go, John.
All right, so as you said, 58 seconds left to go. All Quincy needs to do is snapped the ball twice for the game to be over. Again, North Quincy called their final timeout.
We'll look for Lamb to maybe surge ahead behind his center.
Yeah, you said it'll be tough to kneel down the ball. They're going to have to go down.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he does.
And Schaaf is actually in a quarterback to take this snap. He runs the ball and will get up to the 10-yard line.
Oh, that's a nice touch. Great idea by Coach Reardon, giving Andrew the opportunity to be the guy. No, actually, he's going to take one snap, and now Lamb's going to close it out. So, no, actually.
No, I think they're going to have Schaaf take the final snap. This will be his final game in a President's uniform, and the final snap of the game as well.
Yeah, that's a very nice touch. Like to see it. Good for Andrew. He's being rewarded for all his hard work by being out on the field here. And so Quincy's going to take this snap. They'll kneel down, and that'll be it.
All right, so a big game there for Quincy, and they come up victorious in this 80th Thanksgiving Day football game. Final score here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, the Presidents 30 and the Red Raiders 14. But an outstanding game, Jim, coming right down to the final seconds, almost as it usually does.
Yeah, you're right about that. I'd call it the final minutes, actually, because once North Quincy fell behind 30-14, that drive by, the Quincy offense and in particular Jalen Green, that really took the wind out of the Red Raider sails. It effectively ended the game. They did play right down to the wire, though, and we see the victorious Quincy Presidents, a jubilant group out on the field here as the teams line up to shake hands.
All right, so we certainly want to thank all of our crew who have come out here all season long to make all the productions possible. Real quick, we want to run down everyone that came out. Martin Dunham coming back from St. John's University, coming back Thanksgiving to help us out with our statistics. So we want to thank Martin for coming back and volunteering his time this Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah, he did a terrific job.
Certainly did. Anna El Torre was down in the field helping Mark Crosby on camera. We want to thank Anna for helping Mark and keeping him situated down on the field. Also on camera, we have Jeff Mahon, Frank Hogan, and Peter Doherty bringing us all our pictures here today. Our engineer was Chris Potter, our technical director, Michael Jarvie, on graphics and replay, Bill Early, and our director, George Capadonna, our executive producer, Elizabeth Campbell. So we want to thank all of them for their hard work here this morning.
Well, John, I'll tell you, it was quite a ball game. The Presidents showed up favored. They had a little pressure on them for that reason, and they wanted to break the string here. They'd lost 3 in a row. The players really stepped up and performed, in particular, senior Jalen Green. He was the guy here. He really carried his team to victory, and we give him great credit. From the Red Raider perspective, they fought hard all game. They ran out of gas there at the end of the fourth quarter, but I'm sure that the coaches are proud of the performance by the Red Raiders. Noel is down on the field, Noel DeBoner, and I'm not sure. Let's see. I'm looking for our cameraman, and then we'll know where to find Noel.
Well, I think Noel's going to be heading down to the south end zone where the President's going to go to accept the city championship trophy.
Okay, yeah. Mark and Noel are setting up.
Oh, actually, they're right down the field.
Yeah,
we're
got
going to
Jalen Green. So that'll be a nice little interview there. A moment with Jalen Green. Actually, apparently Jalen's talking to another media person. I don't think he realizes who Noel DeBoner is. The fact that it's QATV. Here we go. They're getting set up now, so we'll go to Noel.
All right, Noel, take it away with the MVP, Jalen Green.
A lot, guys. 200 and plus yards rushing, 1,650 yards this season. In 10 games, you missed one game, Plymouth, Meldon Catholic. You got to win this year. I know last year they had a little ankle injury.
Yeah.
How's it feel to win on Thanksgiving your senior year, Jalen?
It feels great. It feels great to win on my senior year. And I'm glad to have these guys a part of it with me. And I just want to say thank you to everybody, everybody in Quincy. Even I want to congratulate North Quincy. They had a rough season, but we came out on top this game, and this is ours.
He's a humble kid, this kid right here. And I'll tell you, I think he can go in the collegiate level and do very, very well. Great season, Jalen. We're going to go in the pile over here. In Quincy, you lost 3 in a row, and then you come back and you win one. So good job, Jalen. Great season,
Appreciate
kid.
it. Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to let Jalen get down there and get that trophy. You can see Superintendent Richard Cristofaro on the center of your screen presenting it to the team. We'll see if Noel can get down there. We're going to get a camera as the Presidents raise that trophy. As you mentioned, as Noel mentioned, Jalen Green certainly could have a future in collegiate football. He certainly has a talent, the speed, and the knowledge of the game. Coach Bill Reardon said the same thing when I talked to him the other day.
Yeah, and you could see that he's a classy kid. He's really something, and you like to see that too. That's important. Football's part of it all, but Jalen looks like the complete package, and it'd be nice to see him go on to the next level.
I think Noel's trying to wrap up some, get some more interviews, so we'll see if we can get word down from Noel if he grabs anybody else. Trying to spot him down in the crowd there.
What a group, Coach.
See, I can see Noel there. We'll see if he can get anybody. It looks like he has Coach Bill Reardon. All right, well, Noel, when Coach Reardon gets control of his team, go right ahead. Noel, take it away.
You know, Coach Reardon, you're still trying to control the team and get them organized. You know what I mean?
These guys haven't won in 3 years. They don't know how to respond.
3 years in a row you lose, and now you come here with a great team. You finished 7-4, second place in the Keenan division. You kids played great. North Quincy gave up a good battle. How's it feel to get that victory? Are you going to be able to sleep at night?
I'll be able to sleep finally tonight. Yeah, but yeah, talk about vintage Thanksgiving, right? I mean, just when you think you got things in control, North Quincy comes storming back with huge plays and big touchdowns, and it's like, oh my goodness. So I mean, they played phenomenal. Hats off to them. Good senior class for those guys, and I'm glad we survived.
Going to be a good Thanksgiving Day dinner, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be.
It was a beautiful day out here. 50, 60 degrees out here. You can't get any better weather than this.
No, this was fantastic.
You were on the visitor side this year, and you guys came out and did a great job. You got over the turnover battle, and the penalties came back. They didn't have
the guys want to kill me for calling that pass play down there, but that's all right. We survived.
Well, great job, Coach Reardon. Great season.
Thank you, Noel.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Noel. As you can see, Coach Reardon, very happy. Great day here for the Quincy Presidents, but a great day for the city of Quincy overall. As the North Quincy team came into the locker room to get their equipment, great round of applause. All the fans there applauding them on a great season, and certainly a great effort here today. Like Jalen Green said, congratulations to North Quincy coming out. Always a battle here at Veterans Memorial Stadium on Thanksgiving morning, Jim.
Yeah, and as we sign off, I'd like to just take a moment not to talk about the game, but our crew here. They've done a terrific job all season. It's been a lot of fun working with them, and also it's been a pleasure because everyone really works hard. This was Peter Doherty's first year on the main camera.
Second year.
Grace Busher was...
no, this is Peter's second year up here in the booth.
Well, then why do you make all those rookie mistakes that I noticed? Well, in any event, Peter did a terrific job. I was going to mention taking over for Grace Busher, who was wonderful. Second year, huh? Time flies. Well, I did miss a few games. That might have been it. But we've had a terrific group of people to work with, and we want to thank them. They do a great job. It's an all-volunteer Army, and it makes the types of coverage that you folks get to enjoy at home, and particularly the families of the players and the players themselves, create some lasting memories that you can look back on. So I want to thank them and appreciate all their hard work.
Real quick, some final stats from Martin Dunham. Time of possession, Quincy, 25 minutes and 41 seconds. The Red Raiders, 18 minutes and 19 seconds. So time of possession still a big key factor here in this game. Total yards for North Quincy, 234. For the Presidents, 313. Quincy had 2 turnovers. North Quincy had 1. Andrew Minton, the quarterback for the Red Raiders, 10 of 18 passing for 195 yards, an interception, and a touchdown. Antoine Allen, kind of a big story and a big surprise, 6 carries for only 3 yards, Jim. Jalen Green, MVP of the game, 2 touchdowns, 220 yards rushing. Jason Lamb, the quarterback for the Presidents, 5 of 9 passing for 47 yards and 2 interceptions. But Quincy comes up with a victory, and that's the key thing Jason Lamb's going to be happy with at the end of the, James Lamb will be happy at the end of the day. So, again, final score here from Veterans Memorial Stadium. The Quincy Presidents, 30. The North Quincy Red Raiders, 14. For Jim Timmons, my name is Jonathan Caleri. From all the staff and crew here at Quincy Access Television, have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody.